step into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Woo! Good morning, Mzansi. Thank you so much for joining us bright and early with me and this beautiful soul on my left-hand side. How are you doing?
I feel like I haven't seen you in
Yeah,
ages.
man, we need to spend more time together. That's why I'm looking so forward to the day, though.
Yeah, indeed. And we get to spend time with you this morning, Mzansi. We are celebrating World Water Day on your Feel Good Breakfast Show on this Tuesday. And the day is spent advocating for the sustainable management of freshwater resource.
Yeah, you can see I'm bubbling up because this is something that excites me a lot. And did you know, Jamie, that the Boland Mountains supply 97% of all Cape Town's water, which is a significant amount, and a part of these mountains, which has a beautiful range. It falls in CapeNature's managed protected area. I've had the opportunity to play in it. It is absolutely magnificent. And we're going to connect with the General Manager of Advocacy for the CapeNature, Petro van Rhyn, and he's going to help us find out how this resource is protected so that we can enjoy it that much more.
And it is so important that we protect it because it is our resource. It is for all of us, but it is also important to highlight that water is a human right too. Now, water is the source of all life, and this is why Viva con Agua, a global community of people and organizations, is committed to a shared vision of water for all for water. And we're going to be connecting with co-founder and director Ajay Paul to find out how we can make a difference on International Water Day today.
Difference today. And thank you, Mzansi, for making a difference. Just by watching out throughout the 3 hours of the show, you're going to be a part of the change. And someone who loves making change and someone who loves being a part of the magic is this man right here.
And loves water. And loves water.
I love water so much because I remember, guys, very good morning. My name is Graham Richards. Great to be connecting with my Expresso fam and you guys at home. Thank you so much for locking it in. Yes, we do remember. I can kind of cast my mind back to the day before we were about to hit day 0 when massive drought led to massive water restrictions. What were you doing to save water? And do you still employ those water-saving tips today? Well, that's what we're asking you guys on our social media platforms. Remember when we experienced that most extreme drought? What did you do to save water? And are you still doing it? I think it's absolutely vital that we protect, and we've realized that water is one of those most precious resources that we have here in South Africa. Different parts of the country have been experiencing the most crazy droughts at different times, but I think all of us have developed a new consciousness around water. So what are you doing to save water every single day? Maybe you've picked up something that we haven't. We'd love to hear from you. But let's get set with the day ahead and those news headlines. Jamie's standing by.
Thank you so much, G-Man. And I'll start on the national front. Mpumalanga Police Commissioner Semakaleng Manamele has strongly condemned the attack on the world-renowned Indebele artist Dr. Esther Mahlangu. The 87-year-old was robbed of a personal firearm and an undisclosed amount of cash at her home at the weekend. She also sustained facial injuries when the robber punched and strangled her until she lost consciousness. Mahlangu summoned the police after regaining consciousness. Mahlangu holds an honorary doctorate from the University of Johannesburg. Then staying on the local front, Police Minister Jesse Clegg has confirmed that his department will significantly ramp up recruitment and training in the coming months as the South African Police Service, or SAPS, plans to add significant capacity. Responding in a recent written parliamentary Q&A, Clegg said this is provided for in the estimates of national expenditure for 2022, which will allow the SAPS to hire an additional 12,000 entry-level constable posts. Now, 7,000 of these entry-level positions will be appointed in the 2022-2023 financial year, with the remaining 5,000 recruits added in the 2023-2024 financial year. Then looking to news further abroad, Burundi has banned rickshaws, motorcycle taxis and all other forms of 2- and 3-wheel public transport from the commercial capital Bujumbura. Private bicycles and motorbikes are also banned. Police are stationed on roads leading to the city to ensure the vehicles remain on the periphery. The government says drivers of these cheap forms of public transport are responsible for most road accidents in the country. Some 600,000 people are said to rely on such vehicles every day in Bujumbura. And then a Chinese passenger plane with 132 people on board has crashed in a forested hillside in southern China. The China Eastern Airlines Boeing 737-800 was flying from Kunming to Guangzhou when it plunged to earth in Gyeonggi province and caught fire. The number of casualties and reason for the crash are not yet known. Rescuers have seen no signs of survivors. China Eastern Airlines generally have a good safety record. The last major accident happened some 12 years ago. And then Burkina Faso-born architect Dibedo Francis Kere, which is 56 years old, has become the first African to win the prestigious Pritzker Prize, often referred to as the Nobel Prize of Architecture. His highly esteemed work has been erected in his country of birth and across Africa, Europe and the United States. However, Kere's decades-long journey to the top of his field was no cakewalk. At the age of 7, he found himself crammed into a classroom with about 100 of other kids. Now, this experience of poor building facilities was his earliest inspiration to improve the educational lives of Burkina Faso's children using architecture. After studies in Germany, Kere designed a primary school in his home village of Gando in 2001. This earned Kere the Aga Khan Award, which is awarded every 3 years to identify building projects that address the needs of societies with a large Muslim population. Beyond these designs in Burkina Faso, the award-winning architect has also designed permanent and temporary structures across Europe and the United States, such as London's 2017 Serpentine Pavilion. On that note, that is where I leave your 6 o'clock news headlines. We will be back on the top of the hour, but right now it's time to have a first look at the sports. Here's G.
Thank you so much, Ms. Domberg. Let's kick it off with footballing news. Unfortunately, not the best news for the Bafana camp. Bafana will be without the services of Percy Tau for their upcoming friendlies against stiff opposition in Guinea and world champions France. So Tau was substituted at half-time. That was during Al Ahly's CAF Champions League win over Al Hilal, with the club confirming that it was, in fact, a knee injury. So Bafana coach Hugo Broos will now be without the talisman for the FIFA break, but he has decided to call up Victor Letsualo as Tau's replacement. Then Tapelo Moreno will also miss both matches after he picked up a later injury, with a replacement yet to be named in that space. So we'll certainly watch closely. Then continuing with footballing news, the UK and Ireland look set to be named as joint hosts of the European Championship in 2028, with no rival bids looking likely before this week's deadline. That's according to the Times. So the Football Association of England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland abandoned plans to bid for the 2030 World Cup last month in favour of going for the Euro 2028. And the Times said no fresh bids were expected before tomorrow's deadline, and European football's governing body UEFA is expected to make a formal decision on the 7th of next month. Then let's bring it back home for our cricketing action of late. In the Lions, they've eased to a 6-wicket victory against the Rocks in Boland. The Lions bowlers had dominated the home team, with Sasanda Makara claiming 6 for 46, while Malusi Suboto picked up 4 as well. The Rocks were bowled out for 224. The Joburg side reaching the required target with 42 balls to spare, thanks to a 67 from Joshua Richards, and then a 56 from veteran Reza Hendricks. So the Warriors, they thrashed the Dolphins by 208 runs, with Diego Rosier smashing an incredible 148, Vian Libba scoring exactly 100. And now the top of the table Dragons, they rallied late on to secure a thrilling last ball 3-wicket CSA one-day win over the Knights. Duan Janssen struck 2 fours, including one off that final ball in his unbeaten 22 of just 16, to ensure his side chased down that testing 280 on their way to a 3rd win of the season. Then it looks like the floodgates, hopefully will be open when we turn to Paris. So Olympics organisers of the Paris 2024 Olympics are hoping to sell a record 10 million tickets for the sporting extravaganza, with an additional 3.4 million available for the Paralympic Games. So London 2012 put just under 9 million tickets up for sale and sold some 8.2, while Atlanta back in '96, they sold around 8.3 million of the 11 million available. Half of the tickets will be priced at €50, with the ticketing process launching in December this year. Revenue from the ticket sales will make up a 1/3 of the organisation Organising Committee's budget of that 4 billion euros for the Games in its entirety, with 2/3 coming then from both sponsorship and a financial contribution from the International Olympic Committee. Big business, but we love it. That's where we leave our sport for now. Let's get you set for this Tuesday with the latest on the weather front and some of those temperatures you can expect.
Thanks so much, G. Now, of course, we're going straight into the weather, but let us remind you, today is International World Water Day. Now, it is an annual United Nations Observance Day held on the 22nd of March that highlights the importance of fresh water and is used to advocate for the sustainable management of fresh water resources. Now, the UN World Water Development Report of 2022, going by the title Groundwater, Making the Invisible Visible, was launched yesterday at the opening ceremony of the 9th World Water Forum in Dakar, Senegal. Now, the report states that groundwater is the world's neglected defense against climate change, and also says that according to new research by WaterAid and the British Geological Survey, there is enough groundwater under the continent of Africa for most countries to survive for at least 5 years of drought, and for some, more than 50 years. Now, researchers say groundwater is a hidden treasure, and as climate change worsens, it will become more and more critical. Almost all of the liquid fresh water in the world is in fact groundwater. Now, from our weather news, we head over to our sunrise views of our morning, and it obviously wouldn't be complete without these incredible photos that you, our incredible viewers, share with us daily, and we absolutely love it. Now, starting us off this morning, we've got Charlene Malan from the West Coast sharing this absolutely picture-perfect, peaceful view overlooking the ocean in her area. What a beautiful glow cast over the area. Next up, a regular and a family member of ours now, Gary Orkham from East London, shared yet another absolutely fantastic shot from his part of the country. Now, this morning showing off this luminous pink glow over the area. Oh, it looks like something from a movie scene indeed. Mzansi stepping it up when it comes to these pictures. Thank you so much for sending them through. We love seeing how you start your day wherever you are in the country. Well, for now, it's time to take our first look at the temperatures across South Africa. Starting off in Polokwane, the day starting at 12, moving up to 25 degrees. Mbombela sees the day starting at 16, moving up to 28. Pretoria, 15, moving up to a high of 25. And Johannesburg, thunder showers in your part of town, 13, moving up to a high of 22 degrees. Over in Mahikeng, sunny skies continue, 15, moving up to 26. In Klerksdorp, the day starts at 14, moving up to 24 with some thunder showers. And the thunder showers continue in Kimberley, 15, moving up to 25 degrees Celsius. And Bloemfontein carrying on with the thunder showers, 12 is your low, moving up to a high of 22 degrees. Over in Richards Bay, no thunder showers, sunny skies, 17, moving up to 28. Pietermaritzburg, however, has rain continuing on your side of town, 14, moving up to 24. The sunny skies, however, continue in Durban with a move from 20 all the way to 27. And Mthatha sees the day starting at 13, moving up to a high of 26 degrees. And over in East London, 18 is your low, moving up to 26. Cradock, 13, moving up to a nice warm 29. Berga, 17, moving up to 26. And George, 17, moving up to 25, with sunny skies all the way around. Over out in the mother city, however, the sun does continue. No clouds in the sky, 19, moving up to 25. Worcester sees the day starting at 16, moving up to a scorcher at 34 degrees. Sutherland sees the day starting at 13, moving up to 26. And last but not least, Uppington, 19, moving up to a nice warm 30 degrees, and the perfect temperature to carry on watching your feel-good breakfast show this morning. Now, here's another reason to check in with us. We upstyling Jamie Lee Donberg, and we need your help. Come through, Mzansi.
Thank you so much, Mr. De Mornay, for setting the tone with regards to those weather conditions. But of course, autumn, winter, I don't know if you can feel the air is getting a bit cold, and knitwear is definitely something that needs to be incorporated into your closet. It is timeless and it is cozy, and even Coco Chanel incorporated knits into some of her signature looks. Now, it is of course Tuesday, and I need your help getting ready for the rest of the show. I have two Woolies knitwear looks to choose from. It's over here, right? Yeah, over here. So option number one is this V-neck faux wrap dress with a self-tie belt around the waist. It is made from blended yarns. It just adds a touch of elegance to winter style. You can pair it with some booties. You can wear a stiletto, whatever you want to. So this is option number one over here. I'm going to put it in there so it doesn't fall. Then option number 2 is the super comfy knit cord. You see it's falling. It already wants me to wear it, okay? So option number 2 over there is the super comfy knit cord. This long sleeve polar neck and mid-eye skirt is knit from a luxe viscose blend. It's the epitome of minimalist sophistication, okay? So again, you can pair that with some nice accessories if you wanted to go gold or silver, some boots, whatever you want, but it is not up to me. The choice is yours, Mzansi. So head on over to the Expresso social media pages to vote for your favorite knitwear outfit by commenting on the poll post. And don't forget to include that hashtag styled by Woolies. And of course, the winning one I'll be wearing for the rest of the show. So get choosing and help me choose for this Tuesday.
Wake up in luxury with Expresso and your chance to win one of 5 Slumberland Green Wave queen size base and mattress sets, each to the value of 14,000 Rand. To enter, reply to the competition post on Expresso's Facebook, Twitter or Instagram page, answer the question and include hashtag sleep with Slumberland in your answer. Competition runs from Friday the 18th to Thursday the 24th of March 2022. T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com. Catch you later.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, we are back and live, and we cannot wait to reconnect with the young man who has just sat down on the couch. The surname Clegg, obviously synonymous with homegrown music that we love, that has touched the hearts of the masses. From growing up in a musical family, spending his young years on tour with his amazing father, Johnny Clegg, to kick-starting an unbelievably successful solo career that has spanned over a decade now. Music has always been an integral part of Jesse Clegg's life, but you have to see this man in action to truly appreciate him. So let's soak it up for just a second. Here's Let It Burn.
We've got time to break the rules, time to play the fool all our lives. Petrified, trying to play it cool, can't deny it. We were sipping on this love like free tequila. We were dancing when this world was standing still. And you said this fire made you a believer. So baby, if you love it, let it burn. Let it burn.
Just let it burn. Can we get a feel good welcome for Mr. Jesse Clegg? Love you, guy.
Thank you, man. Nice to be back.
Yeah, it's really good to be back. I keep wanting to reach out and touch you, squeegee your little cheeks there. How are you doing, man? Does it feel like things are snapping back, slowly crawling back? Where you at, man? How's the work life in these crazy times?
It's getting back to where we were, man. It's wonderful. You know, I did an amazing tour in December, and it's just been so nice to get back out there. And I feel like people are so excited to connect again. It's wonderful.
On the deepest level, I think we are, as a global village now, we are all looking for that human connection. Did you realize how much you need that as a performer, that stroking from the audience, that kind of that real-time connection? Because I know a lot of creatives have loved the last 2 years, being able to just stop and take 2 minutes to write an album, to let the creative juices flow. How much do you need a live audience to perform to?
I mean, I think that it's funny, like when something that is so much a part of your life suddenly goes away, you really realize that, you know, that it's created this hole in your sort of lifestyle. And I enjoyed aspects of it in that I got to write a lot of music. I did a lot of writing, but getting back on stage and connecting and feel that real-time audience connection and to share in music and celebrate together, there's just no replacing it. It was wonderful, man.
And it does feel like the world is now ready to embrace it again. And I know you got a fantastic show coming up, but you talk about writing new music. As I understand it, a bit of time in LA working with some amazing names.
Yeah.
Is it a new process when you go back into that space? Is it a formula that you keep kind of tapping into? What was different this time round, and how are you feeling about the body of work that is emerging from this creative space?
Yeah, it's been wonderful, man. I love going to LA, especially for my new album. I've been trying to do the whole thing on that side.
Why?
And partly because
I'm a global superstar, Graham, and I need to record albums in LA, okay?
I think, well, I mean, I hope that's right.
Yes, it's exactly right, man.
But I think that there's something about putting yourself out of your comfort zone and being in a room with people where you feel challenged, and where, you know, you're working with people who you have a great respect for and who make you feel like you need to bring your A game. You know, so it was like getting back on the treadmill again. You know, I didn't have a lot of the time I was working with people that really inspired me and that didn't know me. You know, so they were like working with me for the first time. And when you're working with someone for the first time, you really get this different energy. You know, you really want to try and impress them, or you're trying to find that chemistry together. And it just put me into a different headspace. It just got me to try and challenge myself, push my own boundaries. And it's always a fun process, you know, as a creative, to be in a space where you really have to, you know, go for it. And these songs, I mean, LA is where I did Let It Burn, I did Speed of Light, my new song, Waiting on the Outcome. All those songs came out of those sessions.
Waiting on an outcome, as much as, yes, we know that the musical process is an external thing that you're giving to the world, there's also a huge amount of processing and I'm hoping healing going on in that process. Talk me through Waiting on the Outcome. How do you approach a song that clearly must have so much emotional depth to it and relevance, and must take you on quite a difficult path? How do you work through that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really personal song to me. I wrote that song when my father passed away, and it really is about sort of standing at a precipice and seeing, you know, your life change due to, you know, external circumstances, imagining your life without someone who's so close to you. And trying to understand it and trying to process it. And I feel fortunate as an artist, I have an outlet that I can work through these things. You know, this song was so therapeutic for me to go through some of these ideas. And ultimately, it's not a dark song. It's actually a song about, you know, being vulnerable and finding strength in that vulnerability and seeing the truth, the hard truth, without losing your faith in the universe.
And you think you're writing it for yourself, but you're probably writing it for the thousands of people who are going through such a similar situation. They just need that anchor, maybe that one thought in their day.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think we've all gone through quite an incredible sort of transition the last 2 years, and we've all had to touch our own mortality. And people have lost a lot of loved ones, and I think that this song is just a little it's just reaching out and trying to say that it's okay and that we can all go through this together and it's part of life, you know.
Well, you just want to squeegee his cheeks and kiss his face, man. He's just so lovely. Jesse Clegg is going to be performing at the Teatro at Monte Cassino on the 22nd, 23rd of April. We'll get into what you can expect from the Here and Now performance, but tickets are available at CompuTicket. They will go very fast, so get on it right now. More chats, more games, and of course more amazing performances coming from Jesse. So good to see you, man.
Thank you, man.
Ral, are you sad? Because I feel like
I don't know.
Gee's bromance with
No,
Jesse
you know
right
what?
now.
I'm actually really resonating with Jesse right now. I love the way he articulates his experience, and especially when he puts it into his music. And I think this is something that all of us are going to resonate with, especially when he performs later on. And speaking of resonating, here's another thing I know you're going to resonate with, and that's experiencing Red and unlocking more with Vodacom Red. Now, there are some absolutely amazing rewards and benefits that simply cannot be missed this month. You want to listen to this.
Absolutely not. Now, on a Red VIP plan, you can get the Samsung Galaxy S22 on a 30GB Red VIP plan and unlimited minutes. Get this, for only 1,949 Rand per month, plus get the Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 Classic eSIM and Buds live for free.
Jeez, do you know, honestly, I say this all the time, but if you add all that together, you literally like have your own company. You can start anything. You've got all the utensils. You can do whatever you need and all the tech to kind of just own it, whatever you start off with.
You can start a podcast, you can start a YouTube
literally.
channel. I can start my entire life just with those basic things.
It's so exciting. Now, Mzansi, you can get a piece of this, and Vodacom and Expresso want you to experience Red and unlock 10 gigabytes of data. Now, to do this, you just simply have to reply to the competition post that's on Expresso's Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram page and tell us, what new skills would you like to unlock in 2022? Oh, and don't forget to use the hashtag #ExperienceRed, unlock more. And the competition closes Thursday, the 24th of March, 2022 at 10 a.m. in the morning. And your T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com. What are you waiting for? Get involved in that startup. It's an entrepreneur package. It's a VIP package. It's a everything all in one. And it's waiting for you.
Clearly, it's excited.
Switch to Red and get the Samsung Galaxy S22 for 1,499 Rand and a rugby jersey, Watch 4 and Galaxy Buds Live free. Further together, Vodacom.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. The conveyor belt continues and the amazing names continue as well. The names, Committie, Alan Committie, He's giving you a license to laugh. He always does. He's one of the funniest individuals that we've known, from Cape Town to Johannesburg, and hundreds of South African venues in between, but also via London, New York, and Los Angeles. This veritable one-man committee of comedy will have you in stitches with his particular brand of highbrow hijinks. And he's just so sharp, and he is here this morning. Looking so sharp.
Oh, thank you, sir. You're very kind.
Hey?
You say this morning. It feels like it's still a little bit of last night.
It is last night.
It is last night, isn't it?
No, I've worked it out. 3:30 in the morning. If you got up,
yeah,
at 3:30, then it's last night.
It is still last night.
Well,
this is
nice.
nice.
Fine.
It's
Great to see you this evening.
Thank you. Nice
How are
to
you
be back.
doing, man? Great to have you here, my friend. It's difficult to know where to begin with you, because you've had so many amazing phases attached to so many amazing productions. But for the people that don't know, those that have just first come into contact with the committee, because did you start as an actor?
Yeah.
And were you really bad, and then you had to go into
Now,
comedy?
you see, this is the kind of gripping television we need early in the morning. You know, I studied as an actor at UCT all those years ago, but it was always with a kind of comedic bent, if you will, on a Tuesday morning. And so all of my early shows did have a kind of comedy slant to it. It was either in a farce or a show with comedy aspects to it. And then it kind of gravitated into stand-up. My very first one-man show, which was a kind of one-man Richard III, I played everyone. And then slowly that kind of started to evolve into a stand-up kind of thing. And so, of course, now here we are, 25 solo comedy shows later. But every year I try and do a straight piece of theatre. And that might be a Richard III at Maynardville, or Oleanna, which was quite a dark two-hander. I've just finished, just before lockdown, we were stopped doing Mel Brooks's Producers, the amazing musical. So the idea is every year to try and do one kind of straight piece of theatre and then some stand-up shows.
Because you are not one thing.
I don't want to be one thing. I love all of it. I love everything about being on stage and being live. That's why it's been such a strange 2 and a bit years. But we were just saying this, to lose that currency of live energy and actually communicating to an audience where every night is different and interesting and unique.
Nuanced.
Yeah.
It could rest on just the facial expression of that one person
100%.
sitting in the row in front of you. We've experienced so much over the last 2 years. I was about to, just before we went live, talk about the trauma of the last 2 years for theatre owners, for business owners.
Correct.
Shopping centres, anyone who's been reliant on the space. There's been so much pessimism during this time, yet you still have to find the comic fodder within that.
That's my task.
How do you adjust your lens, or is it always like that?
It's always like that. I think comedians look at the world slightly askew. So you're looking it straight on, we're maybe 2 or 3 steps to the right or left. We have the same experiences. We might be disappointed or angry or upset or sad, but then minutes later we start thinking, you know, this would be a great bit on stage if I just tweaked it a little bit. I'm going to give you an example. I've been flying at the moment during these mad lockdown periods. You know, they make you sanitize and stand in the queues and temperature checks, all of which is necessary. Then you get on the plane and 8 people sit on your lap.
Yeah.
Amazing. And now, on one of the airlines, they've actually said if an oxygen mask will fall down if there's a loss of oxygen, put on your mask, but remove your COVID mask first. See, I think that's genius. My question is, what happens if the plane crashes? Now you fall out of the sky, you get out of the plane, you're floating in the water, you're in an inflatable life jacket. At this point, I would say, remove the oxygen mask, put the COVID mask back on. Because imagine you survive a plane crash and you survive drowning.
And then you die.
And then you get COVID.
No, not at all.
That would be a disaster. Bad things come in threes, don't they? Also float 2 meters away from other survivors. These are some of the things I'm offering as
keep
help. That's
flapping away from them. I absolutely love it, because we do need to laugh now. I think it's almost become a survival mechanism. How do you scale, being as unbelievably, immensely intelligent as you are?
Stop it.
With the theatrical background that you have in some of the greatest literature grounding, how do you know where to scale a joke? How much wordplay do you allow yourself? How much do you speak to the 0.1% and how much do you speak to the...
I think that over 25 years you've started to cultivate the kind of people... my audience knows what to expect, but you're hoping always for new audience members to kind of arrive. Sometimes it's family members and friends of the people who already support you. Sometimes it's people who've never heard of you and suddenly end up at the theatre. My stuff is, I think, full family friendly, and it's not in a way that you have to be learned or have read up on stuff. It's kind of presented in sound bites.
accessible.
And absolutely accessible. Having said all of that, I do love language and the way it breaks down. For those who watch me know, every show I have a flip chart. I carry it around on the Vespa that I drive. And I kind of see myself, if you want, not as a James Bond secret agent, but as a word agent, trying to work out kind of hidden meanings to stuff. So that's part of the silliness. But I think that's accessible to people who are 8 years old, 80 years old, anything in between, and whether you've been to school or not. And then, by the way, you know, as an ex-high school teacher, and that's maybe where I've got this kind of slant, I know kind of how to pitch to various crowds and
to an unreceptive audience is what
who
you
don't really want to hear me, and I'm going to insist on them. Exactly.
Well, I guarantee you that's not what you're going to get for Live and Let Laugh, your 25th.
Yeah.
Comedy
well, this is why I
showcase.
decided to call it Live and Let Laugh, because Bond was 25, this last Bond, the No Time to Cry. So, and, you know, basically there've been 25 Bond movies over 60 years. I've had 25 stand-up shows over 48 years. So I'm winning. It feels to me I'm doing more work than James Bond.
That pocket square says you're a winner this morning, man. We love you. And when he gets on the Vespa, he takes it out and he ties it like a bandana. It looks awesome. Alan's 25th comedy show, Live and Let Laugh, starting at Johannesburg, the Monte Casino this coming Friday. And our Cape Townians, don't worry, you'll get it at the Theatre in the Bay in Cape Town, on the Bay in Cape Town during December. But get onto CompuTicket now. These are going to go very, very, very fast.
Well, our taste buds is going on an adventure today, whether you're in Italy, Algeria, or Spain. Today we are taking a Mediterranean route with a classic dish that has many adaptations throughout the globe. Now, breakfast for dinner is never a bad idea, and with this hearty Italian baked eggs recipe, you might just be motivated to start your day all over again. And Tando is here to show us how it's done. Well, here's the thing, Tando, I've had scrambled eggs, boiled eggs, poached eggs, baked eggs. This is a new thing.
Well, you can sort of, this is like baked if you want to put it in the oven.
Okay.
And also poached if you just only have a stovetop.
Okay, so it's obviously just making as to what you would like it.
Yeah, so
Got
which
it.
is great, because if you don't have an oven, then you don't have to.
There we go. We've
Is the
got
fire
it.
on? No, it isn't.
Is it on? That's usually how it works, eh, Tando? Like you have to switch on the oven and that's the magic actually happens.
I'm like,
Don't worry,
wait, hold on.
I forgive you. It was a public holiday yesterday. We're still trying to
We're still
reset.
relaxing. Like, I'm still like, hold on, I need to switch on.
I'll let you work. I was like, is today Monday? What day? What are we?
What are we doing today? Like,
We're cooking. We're making baked eggs.
You're here.
Okay, so I already see you have your onions and your red pepper.
Red pepper, yeah. Then we're
in
going to
the
go
pan.
in with classic spread.
Yummy, just to add all of the goodness.
The goodness, yes, and adds a great creaminess as well to the overall dish, which is great.
I got it.
Yeah.
Okay, the pan is eventually on.
It's on. I'm sorry, guys.
It's coming.
Yeah, it's on.
Coming.
It's
A bit of a
awake.
delay here. A bit of a delay, but we're getting there. We're getting there this morning.
And
Okay,
then,
perfect.
once that's all melted, then you're going to go in with your spices. So I've got smoked paprika.
And I see you're coming through with the spices, because I thought like, okay, this could be just like, you know, quite bland if you
Yeah.
don't add anything, but I get it. So you have some paprika.
Cumin.
Cumin, okay.
And cayenne, of course. You can go extra with this. I like it slightly spicy.
I just want to ask now, how do you like your spice, girl?
Medium.
Medium.
I want to be able to taste the food still, but also have the hints of spice. I don't want to be, you know,
Burning,
playing
dying,
like
and
I'm playing a game or like a challenge when I'm eating. No. I want to eat my food nicely.
I get you. I feel
How hot do you like your spice?
I'm the same. I like a bit of a mild. I do like a kick now and
Yeah.
then, just to feel like, okay, girl, you're alive.
Do your
And
ears
you say-
burn? My ears burn.
Your ears burn?
Yeah, even if it's mild. I don't know why. Sorry, like it just happens. I just
I think you and Raul, same WhatsApp group. I
Really?
always tell people this. We went to Durban and people were offering us like just like a normal breakfast
Yeah.
with a smoochie on the side, something like what you're doing. And Raul was dying. He was getting like napkins. He's like, oh, it's so hot. And they were like, no, this is not even. This is the tomato.
Yeah,
I was like, what are
sometimes
you doing?
it's not even that hot, and my ears are like, "Woo, girl, what am I eating?" And I'm like, and it itches. like I want to be like those people who go.
Those people, that's me. That is me.
That's you.
I'm sinus, and I always say that's going to be on my girlfriend application list. I'm the person that does it in the morning. And people like, what are you doing? I'm like, my throat is itching.
But in your ear?
But Everything is just like it's
Okay,
connected.
let
It's
me go into
connected.
these tomatoes.
Okay, let's get the tomatoes in there. So some nice... Oh, those tomatoes are gorgeous.
They're gorgeous. So you're gonna cook this out, and then until they've blistered, then you're gonna use the back of your spoon and mash it and get all those
Okay.
juices out.
So you do want to actually mash it and make sure that
Yeah.
the tomato juice actually just spreads throughout the dish. Got it? And I see that we're using a lot of sugar.
Not too much. It's just to not have that, you know, that
Acidic
extreme
taste.
sourness. Yeah.
It's a nice little balance between the two flavors.
Ooh, child. There we go.
Did you say ooh, child?
Yeah, I'm like,
Ooh, child.
Ooh, child. The sugar's not coming up.
The sugar is there.
Okay, there we go.
Even that alone for me, that looks so good.
Okay, these tomatoes are, yeah, give them time.
Just let it rest, let it
Yeah.
rest.
Then we'll crack the eggs into here, and it's just...
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay, so now for you wondering, the dish can also be cooked in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius. Now begin with making the sauce over the stovetop, like Tando's doing, and then cooking the eggs in the oven for about 8 to 10 minutes. Now the tomato mixture can also be made ahead of time or even the day before and then stored in the fridge. It just helps with meal prepping, and when you're preparing to serve, simply just reheat until simmering and then add the eggs again on top. And you can also add any protein that you want to the recipe by adding breakfast sausage if you wanted, chorizo, even meatballs. Ooh, meatballs will make the recipe even more hearty. Now, of course, this can be served with a dollop of anything that you want. Like, I'd add some mayo, some sauce,
Some
just...
cream cheese as well, just... Girl.
She is the girl. This tomato sauce really... I like a recipe that you could take from just like basic and then just elevate it.
Elevate it, yeah.
And it can be used for anything. So I would, again, add
There we go.
some sausage to that. Add some... anything you want to it.
You also,
Just-
you also want to turn this down a little bit,
Okay.
just so that sauce cooks nicely and
Got
you have
it, got it, got
simmering.
it,
Yeah.
got it. Are you going to try to do the egg on top?
Let's see. Let's
Let's
get
see.
this. There we go. Just want some juices out.
Here we go. Boom. And then you just pop it into the oven for 8 to 10 minutes, 180 degrees Celsius, and you get your very own baked eggs, which again could be served for dinner. Why do we need to limit ourselves to having only eggs and breakfast for breakfast?
For breakfast,
No, we're
I have
changing
it
the rules.
Any time of the day. If my body's like, can I have some eggs? We're having eggs.
We serve them some eggs. If your body's telling you, you need this recipe, then head on over to expressoshow.com. Baked eggs is on the menu here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Tando, that looks scrumptious. Pop it into the oven. And the end result is right over there. You're welcome, Mzansi.
Upstyle your home with Expresso as 3 lucky viewers like you stand a chance to win game vouchers to the value of 25,000 Rand for a room improvement of your very own.
To enter, all you have to do is post a photo of the space you want to revamp on Expresso's Facebook or Twitter competition post, and remember to use the hashtag #GotGame in your entry.
The competition is closing on the 22nd of March 2022, and all the terms and conditions apply. Good luck.
Mzansi, welcome back. Your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and it is Tuesday, and we were asking you to choose with us. And of course, it's that fabulous knitwear that we're asking you to make a selection on and help Jamie decide what to wear today. Now, Jamie is, in fact, getting ready to figure out what to put on, but let's check out the comments first so she can make that final decision. Ziyanda Mapapu coming through saying, I like the hashtag using, choose Jamie. Definitely the V-neck dress. So that would be the grey knitwear, I believe. I like that one too. Nice color. Denise Sadan says, good morning, Expresso. Definitely number one. Tanya Jackson says, I would go with number one, the V-neck knit wrap dress. I know it will look fabulous on her. Rukeya Shabuddin also coming through saying, outfit number one, please, although she would look smashing in anything. That's something I can definitely agree with. Jamie looks good in almost anything, but we've got so many more comments coming through. Let's check some more of them out. Nancy Govender says, also number one, the V-neck knit wrap dress. And then Jeanette Raz also saying, option one, the gorgeous Jamie will look good in it. I agree. I don't know. Look, the black, the grey. I think the black is really, really classy. The grey V-neck I absolutely love. But let's see who that winner is. Can I invite the sultry Jamie Lee Zomberg in the building? She's got to do a slow-mo walk. That's why she's taking her time.
Okay.
It's really
Am I
slow.
doing a slow-mo?
Yeah. Come, slow-mo walk. Bum, bum.
You must sing for me, sing for me.
Bum, 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 bum. Da-da.
Can I just say thank you, Mzansi, for choosing this look for Tuesday. I love this, sophisticated, so comfortable. I just love everything about it. The
You
fit
look
for
good.
it.
What are you doing
wrap dress.
tonight? You want to maybe catch some dinner or something?
Are you inviting me?
I can't help it, it's the dress. It has an effect on me. Clearly, Mzansi made a good choice.
Thank you so much. Really loving this dress.
Yeah.
And I love that I can go out. It's a day classic look. If I wanted to zhuzh it up with some heels, you could do that as well.
And I can see at the end of the day, you can just snuggle up in this. It's like a blanket.
Just take it off as well.
Absolutely love it, Mzansi. Thank you for coming through. I think you did an exceptional job. But if you want some of this action and want to look this good, you can shop it online, in store, or on the app. That's at woolworths.com, because you know you're absolutely going to love it. Julep.
Yes, it's time for a showdown. You can't have two ridiculously good-looking men such as these behind the scenes watching two normally looking guys like this on screen without playing a game. No, you guys are devilishly good-looking.
Thank you.
Both. It's looking more. A bit distracting out of the peripheral of my vision here. I could hardly see. We can't have two lovely human beings like you in studio without putting you through your paces. We're going to have a little bit of fun. Okay?
Right.
Are either of you really competitive? You strike me as
I'm
being
pretty
quite
competitive.
Okay. Not at this time in the morning.
Well, suck it up, buddy.
Here we go.
Okay, come on.
All
So
right.
we're going to have a little bit of fun here. This is how this particular game is going to work. I'm going to bring up a sequence of nonsensical words that make no sense whatsoever placed together, hence being nonsensical. Now, by reading them aloud to yourselves, you'll have to guess what these words actually mean, okay? And here's a little hint. Most of them will be a common colloquial phrase that we use fairly often. Okay, so I'll give you an example. Van Heepak is a fanny pack. I know you wear a fanny pack every time you run on the prom, man.
Van Heepak.
Van Heepak.
Van Heepak. I see. Right. Okay.
Okay,
Oh,
you
right.
get the vibe, okay?
Right. Okay.
I'll try to be better.
Okay,
With my,
all right.
my nonsense. Okay, so we're going to start with you, Jesse, because you're closest to me. That's just... All right. And your nonsense goes like this. One hide stand. Say it to yourself, and what does that say?
One hard stand.
Go on.
One
Have you ever had one of these?
One hard stand.
Say it quicker.
One night stand. One night stand. Okay.
Very good.
No, you've never.
Clearly not.
Clearly not. Okay, we'll give you like a loose 1 point. We'll
You
give
don't have to be a loose one if you have a one-night stand.
Yeah. All right, this speaks a lot about the man, okay?
All right.
Lack, dose, scent, holler, rent.
Lactose intolerant. Lactose intolerant. Hey, too much milk.
Hey, and your brain almost went screensaver there. And you said it, I heard it, and you're like, no.
What?
And then you got it. One place, one. Nice. Okay, Jess, you ready?
I'm ready.
Drub, bet, lie, kits sot.
Drop it like it's hot.
Drop
Why all like drop it like it's hot?
Like gangster rap references. I don't know.
Nice.
That's your nice,
Would
man.
you do
Well
that
done.
after a one-night stand?
Yeah, I feel like mine all have a theme to them.
Yeah. Or you don't know what mines are yet.
Lactose intolerance. Oh, sorry, really. Put you on the wrong footing here. Okay, here's yours. All right. Dawn, peak, yearn, hose.
Don't peek your nose. Don't peek your nose. Don't pick your nose. Don't pick your nose. Don't pick your nose, young man.
That's taking you back to your teacher days.
100%.
Sure.
And that was
Nicely
talking to other
done.
staff members.
Nicely done. Oh, I'm sorry, dude. The theme continues.
Okay.
Stalk, hint of Wren's own.
Stalkins of Wren's own. Stalkins of Wren's own.
I feel like if you say these with an Irish accent, that might...
Stalkins of Renzo.
Stalkins of Wren's own. What? Stalkins of Wren's own.
I don't know either.
Blanking on the
That's it's a hard one.
I know that it's themed around a one-night stand, so I have to keep that in mind.
This time you didn't get that far because you were, and I'll say it with your customary German accent,
Okay.
stuck in the friend zone. You're stuck in the friend zone.
In this friend zone.
And isn't that often the case that when you're stuck in the friend zone,
you don't see it.
you don't realize?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Okay, well, that's why I didn't
In
get
the
that one.
friend zone.
Oh, man, right now there's someone out there going, oh, I wish you would just pick it up, man. I wish you would just figure it out. Oh, sorry, man. All right. Mile, hip, SARS, healed.
My hips are healed. My hips are healed. My hips are healed. My lips are healed. My lips are healed. My lip.
And now with conviction.
My lips are healed. That's what it is. It's my lips are healed. My lips are healed. What is that?
My lips are sealed.
My lips are sealed. I see, you got to do it with an accent, don't you? My lips are sealed. Because of lactose intolerance, my lips are sealed.
Oh, man. Okay. Let's move on to number 8 now.
All right.
Okay. Let me bring it up here. Sorhe nods or he.
Sorhe nods or he.
Sorry.
Sorhe nods or he. Oh, sorry, not sorry.
Yes, and you are not sorry. Well
Sorry,
done.
not sorry. Very good.
Okay, one more.
All right, here we go. This is it.
This one, both of you can go, and this is for the tie.
Okay.
Pretty shack scent.
British accent. British accent.
British accent.
British accent.
Can we get a resounding round of applause? I could literally see the smoke coming out of your ears, guys. Well done. I'm going to call it a draw. They were both on form. Have a little bit of fun with this game yourself, and if you're going to do it, please post the videos on the Expresso Morning Show Facebook page. We'd love to have a laugh.
Oh, we are laughing and loving that the gentlemen are here with us this morning. But it's time to have a serious conversation, and we need to address this right now. We know that you deserve better. You deserve Goma Goma, because not only do they manufacture lounge suites that last, but they also offer a variety of styles to suit your taste as well as your needs. Now, that's why we say Goma Goma is not just for now, it is for life. Look at this man,
It is for
living
life.
his best life.
I always tell you, but I feel so empowered when I sit on this thing, that arrogant tilt that she always speaks about. It really is a powerful feature, and the fact that you get to rub on this fabric,
It's
just
all.
classy. But listen up, Zanzi. The Goma Goma Heritage range has some absolutely beautiful showpieces that are traditionally crafted with opulent detailing. Now, take, for example, the Supreme Heritage Suite, which is a beautiful classic creation. It features some silver stud work for the ultimate style and status. You're going to look good on that one, indeed.
Look at that, so beautiful. And then there's also the Regal Heritage Suite, which is an opulent Chesterfield-inspired design, which will create a statement in anyone's living room. Just every time I look at this, I'm like, wow.
Get a picture on that.
Just wow.
Royalty. Now, on top of that, you also have the Majestic Heritage Suite, which is an exclusive. This is Goma Goma's masterpiece with beautifully molded wooden inserts, opulent cushions, and fabric finishes that gives your home that absolute regal touch. I like that.
There really is something for everyone, for your style, your taste, your need, for your living space as well. So all you have to do is follow Goma Goma on their Instagram page at gomagoma_SA, as well as on their Facebook page, which is just Goma Goma, as well as visiting their website, goma.co.za, to find out more about the various top quality lounge suites on offer, something for each and every one of you. So go there right now.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're still live with Expresso. I want to say live in South Africa.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, live in South Africa.
Watching us.
And right across the world, in fact. But today we are taking a special focus on water. Vitally important day. It is, in fact, World Water Day, one of our most precious resources. And we put this to you guys. Do you remember when we were being highly, I know certain areas in South Africa still are being affected by drought, but when it got to that point here in the Western Cape, in certain parts of the country where we were, I can remember that day before day zero.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of going to 3 different water stations to pick up for my mom, my sister. Jack had just been born, and kids, you've got to be washing. It was just
and you got like 5-minute showers that you're allowed.
Yeah, man. So 2 minutes, I think, was ultimately where it got to. So obviously, a lot of us adopted a very conscious approach to water usage, and we put it to you guys. Have you still used some of those tips? And Knitwear weighed in and was saying, well, if you brush your teeth, use a glass of water instead of tap water. Okay, instead of letting the tap run.
I actually like that. I might actually adopt that, Knitwear. Thank you very much. Samantha Chitty also coming through. Don't leave my tap open while brushing my teeth. Use a dishwasher to wash my dishes, as it saves more water than washing by hand. Oh, is that true? I didn't know that.
It really does, especially now. Most dishwashers are so energy efficient as well. It really does help. Linda Tolo saying, good morning, Expresso Show fam. Our team, my water saving tip is me and my family, we store water in buckets and we store for certain times and use the water for laundry and then store again.
Oh, so you've got backups and backups.
Yeah, man, I did that with, we got the Newlands Spring just down the way. I love that. Going,
but how busy does that get, right?
I know, it gets a little intense.
Soraya Zondi Ferguson Lee says, good morning, do not run the tap or the top loader on full cycles. I program it manually and then I catch the grey water and use it in the toilet.
Oh, grey water. I haven't even heard that term in a while. Grey water.
Smart, yeah.
Oh, the
return of grey water. It seems like the country's got their noggin together when it comes to saving water. Of course, it's such a precious commodity, like she says, and we'll be talking more about that commodity in just a bit. For now, though, it's just gone past the hour, so let's crack in with the news, and here's Jamie Lee.
Well, the time now actually is 2 minutes before 7 o'clock. Time to have another look at those news headlines. Starting on the national front, President Cyril Ramaphosa has called on South Africans to join hands with the government in exposing corruption. He was addressing a commemoration of Human Rights Day at Costa in Northwest. The president said corruption and state capture had eroded human rights and weakened state institutions. He said the country would remain stagnant should corruption continue. He added, and I quote, "Because of corruption, our people are forced to pay more for services. We cannot reduce poverty and inequality as long as public money is being stolen." Then staying on the local front, Mpumalanga Police Commissioner Clegg Manamela has strongly condemned the attack on world-renowned Ndebele artist Dr. Esther Mhlangu. The 87-year-old was robbed of a personal firearm and an undisclosed amount of cash at a home at the weekend. She also sustained facial injuries when the robber punched and strangled her until she lost consciousness. Mhlangu summoned the police after regaining consciousness, and Mhlangu holds an honorary doctorate from the University of Johannesburg. Then looking to news further abroad, Ukrainian resilience is causing Russia to more adequately assess the situation of the war, a Ukrainian negotiator says. Mikhailo Podolyak, an aide to President Zelensky, says this has encouraged dialogue between the two sides. But any decision on a peace agreement will be made between the Ukrainian and Russian leaders, he said. In Kyiv, 8 people have died due to shelling of a residential area and shopping center. And Ukraine has ignored Russia's demand that it gives up the city of Mariupol, saying there is no question of any surrender. Then Burundi has banned rickshaws, motorcycle taxis and all other forms of 2- and 3-wheel public transport from the commercial capital Bujumbura. Private bicycles and motorbikes are also banned. Police are stationed on roads leading to the city to ensure the vehicle remains on the periphery. The government says drivers of these cheap forms of public transport are responsible for most road accidents in the country. Some 600,000 people are said to rely on such vehicles every day in Bujumbura. And then Prince William and Kate Middleton are living it up on their Caribbean tour on behalf of Queen Elizabeth's Platinum Jubilee year. Now on Sunday, they showed off their dance moves during a trip to the beachfront village of Hopkins in Belize. While visiting Hopkins, the cultural center of the Garifuna community in Belize, the couple joined in the festivities, joyfully dancing the local punta as they immersed themselves in Garifuna culture. William even busted out some impressive moves with a 57-year-old local woman, Laura Cacho. They are an amazing couple and we would love them to visit with their children, Charlotte, George and Louis. Cacho, who helped host the visit, said, now very excited, she also added, and I quote, "And can they dance? I didn't need to teach them. They're so good at it." And she says Kate told her she wants a few dance classes. Now the Garifuna people are originally from Africa and came to Belize from St. Vincent, where they settled with the local Adawak indigenous people. Take a look at that. Well, that is where I leave your 7 o'clock news headlines. We will be back on the top of the hour, but right now, here is another look at the sports with G.
From one hot stepper to another, it looks like Bafana sadly be without the services of Percy Tau. That's for their upcoming friendlies against stiff opposition in Guinea and world champions France. So Tau was substituted at half-time at Al Ahly's CAF Champions League win over Al Hilal, with the club now confirming it was in fact a knee injury. So Bafana's coach Hugo Broos will be without the talisman for the FIFA break, but he has decided to call up Victor Letsualo as Tau's replacement. Then Pelo Morena will also miss both matches after a late injury, with a replacement yet to be named. And staying with footballing news, the UK and Ireland look set to be named as joint hosts of the European Championship in 2028, with no rival bids looking likely before this week's deadline, according to the Times. So the football associations of England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland, they abandoned plans to bid for the 2030 World Cup last month in favour of focusing on the Euros 2028. The Times said no fresh bids were expected before tomorrow's deadline, and European football's governing body UEFA is as a result expected to make a formal decision on the 7th of April. Then on to local cricket. The Lions eased to a 6-wicket victory against the Rocks in Boland. So the Lions bowlers were dominant over the home team. Incredible performance from Sisanda Makara, claiming 6 for just 46, while Malusi Soboto was also on fire, picking up 4 4 wickets. That is, the Rocks were bowled out for 224. The Joburg side reaching the required target with 42 balls to spare, thanks to a 67 from Joshua Richards and 56 from veteran Reza Hendricks. Then the Warriors thrashed the Dolphins by a massive 208 runs, with Diego Rosier smashing 148 and Vian Lubba scoring exactly 100. So the top of the table Dragons, they rallied late in their match to secure a thrilling last ball 3-wicket CSA one-day win over the Knights. It was Dwayne Jansen who struck 2 fours, including one off the final delivery in his unbeaten 22 off just 16 to ensure his side chased down that testing 280 on their way to now a 3rd win of the season. Then it looks like the gates are finally open, but we're hoping for floodgates in this case. So Olympics organisers of the Paris 2024 Olympics are hoping to sell a record 10 million tickets for the sporting extravaganza, with an additional 3.4 million tickets available for the Paralympic Games. So London 2012 put just under 9 million tickets up for sale, and they sold some 8.2 million, while Atlanta back in 96 sold 8.3 million of the 11 that were available. So half of the tickets will be priced at €50, with the ticketing process launching in December of this year. And revenue from the ticket sales will make up at least a third of the organising committee's budget of €4 billion for the Games, with 2/3 coming from both sponsorship and a financial contribution from the International Olympic Committee. Well, that's where we leave our sport for this hour. We'll touch on those headlines again at 8 o'clock. Let's get a South African and international global weather perspective on some of the temperatures here in SA.
Thanks so much, G. Now to take a look at the weather once again, and the Kettling River Taxpayers Association in the small town of Costa in Northwest says the failure to provide clean drinking water to communities is the worst possible violation of human rights. Now, President Cyril Ramaphosa was in the town yesterday for the government's official Human Rights Day celebrations, and the area has, of late, not had water for nearly 40 days. Now, the chairperson of the Kettling River Ratepayers Association, Carol van Heerden, says they are concerned about the management of the water and sewage plants, and he says they wish to run the services privately themselves. Now, fed up with the unreliable supply, the Ratepayers Association took the municipality to court in 2020. Now, the Costa community successfully took over the services for a few months after the court found the local municipality was unable to provide these services. However, the municipality has since taken back the responsibility, but the Ratepayers Association is now challenging that decision once again. Well, next up in our weather report, we go from our news to our sunrise views. Now, Monitz and Dominique Smit from Montesquieu in KZN shared this absolutely stunning photo overlooking the area from a great vantage point, showing a gorgeous glow. Wow, looks like something made up from a dream indeed. Beautiful shot there. And then long-standing viewer and friend of the show, Nancy Governor from Pennington, wished us a happy Human Rights Day when she shared this beautiful photo taken of the sun rising over the ocean in her area yesterday. And would you take a look at the array of colors? Majestic stuff indeed. Wow. Mzansi, keep stepping it up and keep showing us how you wake up in your part of town. We absolutely love it. It literally inspires us and puts a smile on our dial. Now for the temperatures across the country, starting off in Polokwane, the day starts at 12, moving up to 25. Umbumbela sees the day starting at 15, moving up to 26. Pretoria, 16, moving up to 26. And then Joburg, rain coming through in your side of town, 15, moving up to 24. Over in Mahikeng, the day starting at 15, moving up to 27 with some rain. Klerksdorp, the thunder showers continue to 14, moving up to 27. And then Kimberley, the rain continues, 16, moving up to 27, with Bloemfontein carrying on with the trend of the rain, 12, moving up to a high of 24 degrees. Over in Richards Bay, however, there is no rain. A nice warm day from 19, moving up to 30 degrees is your max. Pietermaritzburg, however, the rain continues, 15, moving up to 27. But then Durban opens up for the sunnier skies. Durban is 20, moving up to a high of 28. And Mthatha starting the day at 14, moving up to 28, but the thunder showers do unfortunately continue on your side. East London sees the day starting at 19, moving up to 27 with sunny skies. And Cradock, very similar conditions, 12, moving up to 30 degrees. Gqeberha follows suit with the sunny skies, 17 moving up to 26, and George, 17 is your low, moving up to a nice warm 24 degrees. And moving over to the mother city, 19 is your low, moving up to a high of 24 with sunny skies. Worcester, thunder showers in your side of town, 19 moving up to 32. Over in Sutherland, the day starting at 14, moving up to 24 with thunder showers. And last but not least, the thunder showers continue in Uppington, 19 moving up to a nice warm 32 degrees for the day. Thank you so much, Mzansi, again for those incredible pictures. We love seeing how you start your day. Let's catch up with the rest of the team and see what's happening.
I don't know why you're wondering, but you're going to be doing your fitness in just a moment. Get your spandex on, man. It's time to get fitness. Move the coffee table out the way. Get the fitness gear on, because we're going to wake you up in just the right way, or at least Raal is.
Yeah, just using water bottles. So grab yourself a water bottle and then get in on that
Easy
workout.
peasy.
But of course, if you need to elevate your Tuesday, Jesse Clegg is still with us and he's going to be doing some amazing performances for you. So stick around. Your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We'll see you after this.
Only you can make my day. It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back, everybody. It is your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It is also World Water Day, and it is celebrated annually on the 22nd of March and National Water Week over the same period. Now, these are key environmental days greatly supported by Woolworths, and in 2018, Woolworths established the Woolies Water Fund with the aim of supporting communities as well as schools by improving access to safe water and sanitation, and also ensuring the conservation of this precious resource. Take a look at this.
Is dit baie belangrik om die leerders te leer of te skool om water te bespaar, want kinders dink as jy 'n kraan oopmaak gaan daar altyd water uit die kraan uitkom. Maar wat hulle nie vergeet nie, ons is afhanklik van reënval in die wintermaande, en as die reënval swak is, beteken dit die damme kan nie tot maksimum gevul word nie. En met global warming wat aan die gang is, beteken dit water verdamp baie vinniger uit die waterbronne uit. So vir ons is dit uiters belangrik dat hulle moet onthou dat die water wat ons het moet hou vir nou en vir toekomstige geslagte.
As part part of our good business journey, Woolworths has always been very passionate about water conservation, and the preservation of this precious resource has always been a primary focus for us as a business. Together with my school, the Woolies Water Fund was created in 2018, and the primary goal was to raise funds to be able to provide sustainable sources of water by installing rainwater harvesting systems into schools, but particularly at schools and in areas that have been affected by the drought. At the same time, our aim is to educate learners about the importance of water conservation through the Woolworths Making the Difference program. Since inception, we've provided water intervention solutions to the value of 4.5 million rand. We have also, through the fund, provided 132 water tanks across 4 provinces. We've also upgraded piping, guttering and filtration systems to be able to ensure that we are providing safe and clean water to both schools and surrounding areas. Going forward, our plan is to continue to roll out as many projects as we possibly can.
I think the Woolies water tanks and hand washing stations helped the learners to go between breaks and make it so much easier for them to wash their fruits and wash their hands, and also it's so much closer to the classrooms.
The Woolies tanks and hand washing stations benefits the school the most because the money that the school would be using monthly to pay the water bill can actually be less because of the water tanks, and then it can be used into functions and all that type of things. And the hand washing stations is also benefit for me and my fellow learners because we have an easy access to it. We can just between periods, when we're switching periods, we can just go wash our hands or drink water.
Ons is fantasties opgewonde oor die waterstasie, want dit beteken daar is meer plekke waar die leerders kan skoon water drink en hulle kan hulle hande was. So vir ons is dit 'n ekstra hulp, en ons gebruik die watertenke vir die groentetuin, en daai groente word vir die koshuisleerders gebruik en aan die gemeenskap verkoop teen 'n bekostigbare prys. So ons bespaar water al die pad.
So we are very thankful for all the supporters that have helped us thus far. But for those who are wanting to get involved, all you have to do is visit myschool.co.za and join. Select the Woolies Water Fund as your cause to support. Or you could SMS water to 31231. Every time you swipe your MySchool card as well as your linked W Rewards card, you are giving back to the Woolies Water Fund.
Saving water is important because it's not something that can be created. So we never know when we're gonna run out of resources, and we need water to survive.
Saving water is very important, especially in South Africa, because there's people out there struggling every day to get water, and it's not cool because we're wasting water. And even when you wash yourself, just don't waste that much water because there is people out there struggling every day.
The Woolworths Beverages team have worked really hard to be able to make giving back easier. So every time you purchase a Woolies branded bottle of water, you are automatically giving back to the Woolies Water Fund. We are committed to creating a better water future for all, and the Making the Difference digital platform provides us with the opportunity to impart information such as key topics like water conservation to learners so that they are able to learn about good daily water habits that they are able to apply both at home and at school. To find out more information on our Making the Difference digital platform, visit the website.
How inspiring. Take action and get involved. Now all you have to do is get yourself a My School, My Village, My Planet card. Select the Woolies Water Fund as a beneficiary to contribute to the Woolies Water Fund, and you can make a meaningful difference. Go out there and get supportive and support those communities and schools in need.
Thank you so much to Woolies and Jamie for that one. And it really does create the perfect premise for the discussion we're about to enter into now. World Water Day, celebrated annually on today, the 22nd of March, with the theme for this year being groundwater, making the invisible visible. Now, you might not know this, but groundwater plays a vital role in our daily lives. The Boland Mountains, as Raul pointed out earlier in the show, for example, they supply 97%, almost all of the Cape Town's water supply. Now, a significant part of these mountain ranges falls into CapeNature managed and protected areas, and they do a fantastic job of it. So who better to talk to than someone from CapeNature this morning? Joining us via Zoom is General Manager for Advocacy at CapeNature, Petro van Rhyn. Petro, very good morning. How are you?
Thank you so much, and lovely to be on your show.
Yeah, it's nice to see one of the faces of such a beautiful, one of the custodians and the faces of such a beautiful area that a lot of us get to play in. So I first want to say thank you on behalf of a lot of Mzansi, I think. But
for every hike?
Yeah, for every experience. But let's get straight into it because we're talking about something important. Groundwater being a big theme. What exactly is it and why is groundwater so important?
Okay, so maybe we can start with a little Geography 101. So when it rains, some of the water ends up in rivers and dams, but most of it sinks into the soil. And then it flows through soil and rock, and sometimes it hits a barrier such as a solid steep sheet of rock, and then it collects and it forms underground lakes, which we also know as aquifers. And so why is it important? It is really quite important in our everyday lives. Globally, groundwater accounts for more than 50% of our drinking water. It accounts for more than 40% of agricultural irrigation. Industries make use of more than 30% use of groundwater in their daily work. And then obviously it also sustains ecosystems.
Wow. Absolutely vital in your job every day. So what is exactly is CapeNature's role in managing this groundwater resource in the areas that you guys are custodians of?
Sure. So nearly 50% of CapeNature managed protected areas falls within strategic water resources in South Africa. And the Boland Mountains, for example, supplies 97% of Cape Town's water. And a significant part of these mountain ranges fall within the CapeNature managed protected areas. So through the effective management of protected areas, CapeNature then obviously contributes in terms of the ecosystems for the provision of water, as well as the conservation of this very, very important resource.
Wow, I'm just getting blown away just looking at some of the visuals of the areas of water that you actually manage. Truly, truly magnificent. But I would imagine the significance of this groundwater really does come into play, especially during those summer months, right? I mean, maybe you could touch on this and elaborate a bit more?
Yeah, sure. So obviously in the Western Cape, we've got a Mediterranean climate, which means the summer basin flow consists mostly out of groundwater. So surface water, like your water and dams, are usually quite low because of less rainfall in summer. And this groundwater obviously this groundwater flow is critical for our aquatic species like our fish, our frogs, and our plants to survive in the summer heat.
Oh. Yeah, and for us to get out there and appreciate these beautiful spaces as well, what are some of the ways that we, the public, can cut down on our water usage to help to fight this campaign that you're waging at the moment?
Yeah, so obviously I think saving water is really everybody's business. It's important for everyone to save water. And there's a couple of ways, obviously, to do this. One is by maybe cutting showers to just 2 minutes, because longer showers take up more water. Another one is to, when you brush your teeth, not to keep the tap water running, but rather to use a glass of water. Also, if you do your washing, rather save it up for a single big load than to wash little loads all along the way. And also planting indigenous plants and trees, because they also use less water. You know, in the end, every drop counts. It's very important that we all save water.
Oh, thank you so much. And it's so true. I mean, we've done the maths. Just one dripping tap for a year can cost you millions of litres of water. It's crazy. We all do have a role to play, and we can support your efforts. Petro, thank you so much for being the amazing custodians of this vital resource, this basic human right, in fact, seeing as we are still so close to Human Rights Day. Thank you so much to you and your team for joining us this morning and for your efforts every single day.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, it's always such a pleasure chatting to some of these incredible people. They're doing such good work in our area to obviously protect our beauty. And obviously with being World Water Day, there's some more tips for you, Mzansi. I hope you are taking that on board with you as we carry on throughout the rest of this show and continue to bring you some water-wise safety.
You can even train with water bottles. We'll show you how.
You just did a bit.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back as we continue to focus on water from a whole different range of perspectives. Now, we obviously just celebrated Human Rights Day, and it's important to highlight that water is indeed a human right as well, one of our most basic. Water is the source of all life, and this is why Viva con Agua, a global community of people and organizations, is committed to a shared vision of water for all for water. And to tell us a bit more about the amazing work that this organization is doing, we connect with the co-founder and director of Viva con Agua in South Africa, Ajay Paul. Ajay, a very good morning. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for having me on the show.
Ajay, it really is so good to connect with you on this World Water Day. Viva con Agua in South Africa is part of such a bigger global movement. What is the movement all about, and how do you, as a South African, fit into all of it?
Well, let's also remember that it's National Water Week, right? So World Water Day fits in very nicely within all of that. Viva con Agua South Africa is part of a global movement, as you've said. We've got people that are busy raising funds for us in Germany, Switzerland, Austria, etc., and they donate the funds to us, and we implement projects to make sure that there is water for all in South Africa, in Malawi, in Mozambique, in Uganda. So we're working in a number of countries, and South Africa is the latest place where we opened Viva, and we started in November 2020.
And you've certainly gone on to some pretty amazing projects. Viva con Agua is implementing projects, as I understand it, in the Eastern Cape and down in the Mother City, collaborating with a range of different partners and stakeholders, other NPOs and municipalities, a vital strategic network in operation. Can you tell us a bit more about the specific work that you guys are doing to make this dream of water for all a reality?
Yeah, sure. So we're working in the Eastern Cape, as you said. We are working in schools where piped water is certainly not their reality. They're relying on rainwater harvesting, so that water is sporadic. So when the rain falls, they have water. When the rain doesn't, then the kids bring their own bottle of water to school. And what we want to do is to make sure that the water that the kids are drinking is safe. We're wanting to make sure that the toilets that they're using are clean, and we want to make sure that their kids are learning that washing of hands is really important. So that's the work we're doing in the Eastern Cape. In the Mother City, we've got a project we are calling the Wash Pass, and this is providing water and sanitation services to the homeless that unfortunately fall through the net. We've all seen the numbers increasing, but the services that they get are not in proportion to their needs. And we're trying to do our bit by making sure that they have a life of dignity and they can reintegrate back into society. So we're offering a sustainable path, we hope, back from living on the streets to reintegrating back into society.
Adrian, this is not a new project. You've been working to improve access to clean water, safe sanitation, and good hygiene conditions for over 25 years. Do you still love it? And if so, what keeps you focused and just really motivated in this endeavor?
Yeah, sure, I still love it. I mean, water connects us all, right? So what that means is that in my day-to-day work, I get to meet people across a diverse background, from a diverse background. I mean, people that may not think that water is touching their lives, but whether you're an IT person, you're working with us to perhaps develop an app that gets people involved, whether you're a musician, you are taking part in a charity event, whether you're a sportsman, etc. So a diverse group of stakeholders, and that keeps me excited and interested, and not least of which, appearing on shows like this to talk about the situation and getting more and more people interested in something that touches all of our lives all of the time.
And making it accessible. I'm a firm believer that if you just provide an opportunity, people will do the right thing, that we are motivated to want to see the entire country, and as you pointed out, this is now a global concern moving forward. You spoke about an app there. You recently developed a new app of your own, a new tool called the Flow Exchange with Justin from Flow, and an app, as I understand it, that allows you to calculate your water footprint and then donate to the homeless. This sounds awesome. Can you tell us a bit more about it?
Yeah, there's some of us that have a lot and others that don't have very much. And what we're trying to do is to balance that equation. So if you are a consumer, well, look, we're all consumers. We can't avoid consuming. But if you're interested in reducing your footprint, knowing what your footprint is and reducing your footprint, this calculator allows you to do that. Once you work out what your footprint is, you can then offset some of that by donating the money to our project, which I mentioned before is trying to provide water sanitation services to homeless people here in Cape Town.
Just a little bit of dignity. I absolutely love it. Oh, Ajay, thank you so much. You've certainly inspired us with your body of work, and I know this is a very important time for you to capitalize on right now, being Water Week and World Water Day today. So I hope that all the right people are watching and listening right now, and that the funds are going to keep rolling in. But we are just so impressed with the work that you are doing in this space. Thank you so much for spreading the word with us this morning.
Thank you. It was a pleasure being on your show.
Oh, that was, of course, Ajay Paul, the co-founder and director of Viva con Agua in South Africa, connecting people for water. Be sure to check out the Flow Exchange on flow.org.za. You can help make a difference right now.
Yeah, Mzansi, of course, we are continuing that theme of saving water with a good tip that you're going to want to get involved in right now and maybe get off the couch and start moving with us too. And if you don't have any dumbbells, do not fear because we've got the perfect bodyweight exercise option, but also we're going to get creative and use these water bottles. So if you are over kind of doing push-ups and sit-ups and pull-ups all day, then don't stress. We've got something that you can do with this water bottle that involves strength training and a workout. And on top of that, recycling our drinking water bottle and turning it into a strength training tool for a home workout or even outdoors. I mean, how cool is that? Now, there's a man in the studio and he goes by the name of Heinrich Besson. His biceps are exactly the same size as my leg, possibly even bigger. And that is a fact, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not joking with you right now. Oh man, how are you doing this morning?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me on this morning. It's great to be here.
Always good having you in the studio, man. And I love the fact that we're going to get creative. We're saving water, recycling our water bottle, and we've got a creative workout coming from you. What do you got for us, man?
Again, it's just about creating a bit of a different focus point. At the end of the day, again, some of the things can get quite monotonous. You know, as much as it has similar movements to what we'd probably do in normal workouts, it's always good to just spice it up a little bit. You can always have a sip of water in between as well. It gets a bit heavy, make it a bit lighter.
You can make the dumbbell lighter.
Exactly.
I like that. All right, now bring the spice, man.
So first things first, you know, it's just a nice basic form of movement. We're going to go into our squat. So you're going to put your water bottle for me down in the center. Again, just checking that our alignment is right. Feet nice and wide apart, chest and chin up. With that being said, glutes go back. You're going to touch down the water bottle. So as we're standing, we're squatting down, just touching our water bottle, getting back up again, once again. So we're going to just alternate our hands, squat and touch, squat and touch. Also what it does is it allows us to kind of be conscious of how low we're squatting as well. It's generally close to, if not, a 90-degree angle.
And also giving consistency in the movement, especially when you get to those end reps and you get tired, you start not increasing that range, you start going higher and higher shortcuts.
Exactly.
This is a nice way to kind of keep you in check.
Accountable at the end of the day.
I like that. How many reps of these would you do for a set?
I'd say let's go between normally 10 to 15 reps.
Okay, nice. So we're working, we're moving, but we're getting a high rep count and getting conditioning at the same time, right?
Exactly. It's about
squatting
movements. Next is a bit of a lunging movement. It's a similar concept. You're going to put the bottle a little bit further forward from So all we're doing is we're starting facing the bottle once again. Nice and close. We're going to lunge back and again touch with, again, alternating arms. So if you're stepping back with your right leg, your right arm will touch the bottle.
Okay, so if the right leg's going back, the right arm's touching the bottle. Okay.
So from there, we're lunging back. Whoops, easy. So as you're lunging backwards, all you're going to focus on is touch, get back up again.
Okay, nice.
On alternating, you're obviously just switching it up. Touch, and back up again.
Okay,
alternate,
I like that.
touch, back up again. Once again, consistency of movement.
Yes, exactly.
Quality of movement, that's what it's all about.
Consistency. I'm also finding the fact that there's more concentration required just by touching the bottle means that, like you said, you're getting the consistency, but you're also getting the hand-eye coordination to be focused. Obviously, I can't just touch down and look around.
Exactly.
I've got to focus on the water bottle, increase that mind-muscle connection at the same time. So this is going to give me a quality rep over quantity.
Exactly, and that's obviously a little bit slow. You know, if you want to spice it up a little bit and make it a little bit faster paced, get some intensity in your workout, you're going to go into a bit of jumping. So let's start with squatting, feet together, or you're doing jumping outwards and again touching the bottle for consistency. So from there, jump, touch,
right.
And once again, bit of lateral movement with the legs, touch, up, touch, up, touch, up, touch, and up. And once again, it's nice to, I want to say, incorporate something like this where again you can spice it up by getting the heart rate up, but again you can tone it down where necessary.
Don't you feel like a bit of an action hero when you do this move? You're like, wah!
Exactly. I mean, you can go for what you want to go for, Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, whichever one. You feel like on the morning.
I'm going with Spider-Man.
On the morning.
Yeah. I'm loving this. The fact that it's dynamic, the fact that we're using our entire body, not just our legs, means we're getting good movement, which is always vital. Exactly. One thing I got to ask you, there's always the core that we're missing out on. Exactly. Is there any way we can tackle that with a water bottle?
So we're going to have a lie down flat on our back. You have your water bottle in your hand for me. So once again, we're working on a, I want to say, this time, same side scenario. So you're gonna have the water bottle, pick any arm first, it doesn't matter. Let's go right arm first.
Right arm first, yeah.
From there, we're having a lie down, nice and simple. The arm is gonna reach forward and you're gonna touch your opposite leg. So if the water bottle's in the right arm, left leg is the one we're using. So we're gonna meet each other halfway. You're gonna sit upright, touch towards the shoelaces, get back down once again.
Okay.
We're gonna do same side.
Yeah.
Touch and go. back down. Now, once again, you can use 2 water bottles and then just alternate the movement.
And go from left to right.
Exactly.
I must just say, you think it's going to be easy, you start lifting up, and then you get that reach in, and that's when you start feeling that core and your abs start to really stimulate and concentrate on this movement. And the fact that you got that extra weight means you just got to concentrate once again. Loving this. Quality over quantity, a brilliant way to use a water bottle, be effective. If you don't have any equipment at home, you have no excuse. This man's come through with another stellar workout. You can find him online. It's Heinrich Basson. He's got all the personal training tips that you need. And if you want to get some biceps the size of these legs, then you want to pay attention. Brother, that was an epic session. Thank you so much. And I guess we're going to have a sip of water now, yeah?
Why not?
Earned it. Cheers.
Simple as CBD should be.
Don't go to Umashonisa, uzozola. Do you want a bank that takes your money or a bank that takes your money choices seriously? Join Nedbank today.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, everybody. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Now, as you know, every Tuesday we bring you Pharmacy of the Week to really just acknowledge the incredible people working on the front line. Now, this is our way to say thank you to these brave healthcare workers, proudly brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave. Now, let's take a look at this week's Pharmacy of the Week. It is City Med Pharmacy in Polokwane, Limpopo. Check this one out.
Our pharmacies are on the front line of healthcare. This is Pharmacy of the Week.
Serving this community as a pharmacy, we take that as a blessing. It's a real opportunity for us because we are going to add value to our customers, we add value to the community at large in Polokwane and as well as Limpopo. Well, obviously, when COVID hit, people lost their jobs, but for us, it actually gave us lessons. We learned a lot from this pandemic because we learned to actually encourage our customers to do online ordering and sending their prescriptions online. And now we can say basically we learned new skills because of the pandemic. Bravery for us means going against your fears and facing all the challenges that come. I would give COVID-19 as an example because we had to serve the community. We had to be brave and go out there and say, despite all the fears and the challenges, we're going to go out and serve our community.
Pharmacy of the Week, proudly brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave.
With schools opening again, teachers and parents will face difficult situations, like tummy cramps, teething, pain and fever, scratches and scrapes, allergies and coughs. Adcock Ingram OTC brings you a wide range of products to help parents take care of those challenges. Brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave.
We see you, we recognize you, and we want to say thank you to all of those still continuing the fight on the front line. We certainly appreciate all of you.
It's for real in the kitchen right now because we are celebrating seafood. And if you're looking for a quick and easy lunch idea, these little tuna flatbreads are going to hit the mark. They are healthy, they are tasty, they pack a punch. And there's a lot of love involved because they're being made by Chef Clem. And we have established our mutual love of the tuna fish.
It's special. It's very special.
We're not using the albacore today, are we not? Why not? Why?
Because you can, if you want to. You can totally use the albacore.
No, that's for special days. Okay, we're talking about those albacore fillets there that are just on a different level. If you like your tuna, if you like any seafood, treat yourself, man.
Treat yourself. And there is a difference. It's just the extra, I want to say fattiness, but it's the richness of it.
Yeah.
So it's delicious.
Luxurious. Absolutely beautiful and luxurious.
Absolutely. So,
but all their tuna is responsibly sourced.
And that's what I said. That's where the love begins. It begins there. It's responsibly sourced. If you're going to have tuna, make it responsibly sourced tuna. And seafood in general.
Yeah.
Okay? And we talk about this all the time because it is so relevant. It's happening now. We as consumers need to make the decision. Seafood is going to be sustainably sourced. We're going to be responsible. We're going to take responsibility for it as well.
But it's a step beyond that because they look at both sides of that ecosystem and the fishes and the communities, the fishermen around that sustainable structure. Right. So they're investing in the communities, in the fishermen, in those small producers as well, which is why they're able to get produce like this. So it's looking at that entire bigger picture. So I think the South African fishing industry also gets a lot out of this. It's a two-way flow, which I love.
It is a two-way flow.
Ultimately, though, we need to create good food.
We are. So,
okay, so
I've got a flour tortilla wrap. But I was thinking about this. Is the combination of fruit and seafood sometimes goes really well together. In this case, it does as well. And I feel like kids would absolutely love this recipe because we've got some beautiful pink lady apples there. I'm going to ask you to get working on it. I'm not going to tell you how to chop it up.
You never do, and I feel like I do it differently every single time. I don't know why, but I could have given me a Cora, okay?
Nah, man, you don't need a Cora. You got it. Okay. But yes, one last thing that I think is really important. The process of fishing this tuna, it's different to like how it's done in other parts of the world.
Yeah,
and I like this middle jingle out of it. It's one hook, one line, one fish at a time. And that's not just to protect the tuna species of like overfishing. Bycatching is something that I learned about recently. Is when you're going for tuna and then they use these big nets and they end up pulling everything else as well.
Drag netting.
Drag
destroys
netting.
an entire ecological system.
It is just,
and unfortunately, a lot of the kind of emerging nations, the smaller nations, are trading away their fishing rights. So, you know, for other deals, a lessening of national debt and various things. And then, you know, these fishing associations, these big commercials are coming in, drag netting their entire coastline and literally destroying it for the next 5 generations.
For the next, and at certain times, it's so impossible to actually bring back that stock, those numbers of fish, and we're just destroying our ocean. So be responsible, be responsible, also, guys, we just talk about Graham's amazing knife work. I don't know what you've been practicing at home.
And it's not the biggest knife, but it packs a punch. Okay, is that enough little bits of pink lady?
That is. Okay, so we're going to start with something creamy. It's all about texture. We're going to go in with a little bit of avo. And I'm going to keep it chunky. I'm kind of imagining I'm making this for Jack.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm keeping things chunky.
And he likes things separate so he can see what he's eating. And I think a lot of kids are like that. They don't like to mix and make it a mess. They want the texture, they want to, and because they're still discovering mouthfeel, they're still discovering those textures and the flavors, and it's good. I'm trying to educate his palate now, because we want to get to a point where we're both eating the same thing. We're all eating the same thing as a family, where it's not baby food, children's food, grown-up food. We all eat the same thing, and I love this. He would love the idea of kind of building and mixing and matching.
Totally. You want to add your apples? Cool. As soon as you do that, I am going to add a little bit of lemon just to stop the avo and the apple from browning, but I mean, it seasons it at the same time. Ready?
That.
There we go. That's a juicy lemon.
Beautiful.
Okay, cool. Tuna, you know what?
Do it, man.
Let's just do it.
Just do it,
Let's just do it. Okay, let's go for the beautiful albacore. They're probably like, but you were supposed to use the tomato. It doesn't matter. It's all good. It's all beautiful. Also, if you've seen the new packaging of the tins, absolutely, absolutely love it. So delicious. Okay, that's going to go there.
Clean,
Still there.
beautiful, great. But yeah, we get our beautiful albacore fillets.
The spoon I almost
lost.
lost.
I actually prefer it in the olive oil. It adds to that luxurious mouthfeel. But I'll literally just sit with a little bucky like this, pluck them out, chop.
Right?
Oh, it's just so delicious. But I'm thinking this textural kind of element of the crunchy pink ladies.
And the texture of the albacore is so different as well. I'm thinking for Raul's birthday, seeing he's always looking for protein, I'm going to actually just buy him albacore tuna.
A whole albacore.
But that's great, right?
Let's go and catch him one. Let's go, deep sea fish, catch one for him. Should we do that?
I'm pretty sure Woolies would love that. They'd send us a little trip. I think they'd love it. Raul, we're doing this for you. G and I are going on a 2-week holiday to catch a tuna for you for
just
your
for
birthday.
you, buddy. We'll do it for you,
We'll
man.
do it for you.
We'll take any knock for you,
Okay, cool.
man.
There we go. Tuna goes down.
Beautiful.
Now, here's where you're going to, like, divert a little bit. Kids might not like the sharp of choppers of onion, but...
My 2-year-old loves red onion.
Perfect. If you want to take some of that pungency out of it, you can put a little bit of water on it, so leave it for a little bit.
Oh, really?
Turn the water off, and you'll see the water, like, takes on a lot of that, like, that harsh onion flavor.
Okay.
So we go sprinkle.
But I love red onion with tuna from a textural perspective, because you do need something with a bit of crunch when you're having a tuna salad. For me, it's vital. Hence, also the addition of the little gherkins.
Little gherkins. Kids love gherkins. I must be like a kid, because I'm obsessed with gherkins. Not cucumbers, by the way.
Really?
But pickles, yes.
Either or for me, my bro.
A little watercress and a little more lemon just over the top. Young Jack, this is for you.
Seafood and lemon love each other.
Seafood and lemon, best friends. It's that simple to put together a snack, and I think this is pretty great. Around about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, so you don't have those snackcidents.
Yeah.
This is what you have.
Avoid a snackcident. So what's the deal here? Can I score any of this on a good deal?
Well, you've got the amazing Daily Difference in front of you, and I love the fact that Daily Difference is like kind of like how we plan our meals for the weeks or for the months. We pay you the Daily Difference and kind of just see what's happening. And I love their amazing seafood spread. Check out, what have we got on the tuna? I see there right on top, we've got some tuna specials.
So light meat tuna pouches, which are such a brilliant go-to, because often you don't need a full tin of tuna. You just want a little bit of snack like this with some beautiful flavor additions. The black pepper and lime dressing is exquisite. You can buy any 2 for 40. That's a saving of $13.98. That is brilliant. Hake fillets. You can get yourself a massive hake fillets for $209.99 a kilogram. Crumbed hake fillets. Oh, don't you deserve a little bit of fish and chips tonight? But this is the winner ahead of Easter weekend. Pickled fish, buy any 2 tubs, 500-gram tubs, for 150 Rand. That's 150 for a kilogram.
For a kilogram!
Of pickled fish. That's crazy. And then all of my kids' favorites, the panko crumbed hake, and of course the fish fingers, which is like every second day we are a fish finger family.
I had a conversation with a group full of foodie people. We spoke about how nostalgic a fish finger sandwich is, and everybody was like, oh, we love it, we love it. And all together, everybody in the room went, but the fish fingers from? Woolies.
There is a difference.
It's so different. It's so different. It's so good.
Completely. I'm loving... Oh, this is exciting. This is going to be my breakfast and my lunch. So I can avoid a snackcident. Okay? How would I eat this?
That's the thing. There's no right way, no wrong way. You just grab it and you just go for it. I'm going to take this one over here. I'm going to join you.
Okay, do it. I'm going to grab it. I'm going to fold it. And I'm going to chow it. Hello, my little friend. How are you doing? Mmm.
Flavors are there, textures there, grams dancing.
I mean, that albacore was just insane. But that lemon, the way the lemon hits you and just opens up your senses as you delve into it. Some beautiful soft flavors there, but so perfectly balanced. This is absolutely beautiful, a great way that you can appreciate seafood. You don't have to go out there and spend millions. You can just work with one of the most simple ingredients, like a tin of tuna, and create something delicious.
Exactly.
Absolutely beautiful. I'm assuming we can find this one, woolworths.co.za, but go and check out the Daily Difference today. It might be a deal just waiting for you for lunch, dinner, supper, even some toiletries going at a steal. Oh, this is so good.
Huh?
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, Mzansi, welcome back. Your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And now we have been snacking on so much when it comes to the entertainment on the show, but it's time for dessert. Prepare to be moved by Jesse Clegg's first performance of the morning. This one is going to be an absolute treat. It's the fire performance, and it's called Let It Burn. Take it away, brother.
Tequila. We were dancing when this world was standing still. And you said this fire made you a believer. So baby, if you love it, let it burn. Let it burn. Time to break the rules, time to play the fool all our lives. Petrified, trying to play it cool, can't deny it. We were sipping on this love like free tequila. We were dancing when this world was standing still. And you said this fire made you a believer. Baby, if you love it, let it burn. Let it say I'm all in. This ain't every day, this ain't nothing. And this happened like an explosion. Head first straight into the ocean. Hate to admit that I'm falling. We were sipping on this love like free tequila. We were dancing when this world was standing still. And you said this fire made you a believer. Baby, if you love it, let it burn. Let it
Come on, how can you do that? We're trying to save water out here and you just lit the studio up and now we've got to cool it down. But that was absolute magic. Jesse Clegg in the building. So one more performance coming at you. I don't know how you reach those notes. Every time he shouts, let it burn, I'm like, and nothing comes out, man. I don't know. I'm going to leave it up to you. He's got one more performance and Jamie Lee Dombeck standing by now for the news and then we'll see you in just a bit. Let it burn. Yeah.
Well, it's 1 minute before 8 o'clock, time to have a final look at those news headlines. Starting on the local front, electronic hailing platform drivers, including Bolt, InDriver, Didi and Uber, say they are forging ahead with their national shutdown from today. A meeting was convened by Gauteng Transport MEC Jacob Mamabolo in Johannesburg yesterday afternoon in a last-ditch attempt to avert the strike action. But the e-hailing service operators say taking their strike to the union buildings in Pretoria today will proceed as planned. They are calling on the government to regulate the industry. They say this will help prevent the exploitation and promote safety within the e-hailing sector. Then staying on the local front, President Cyril Ramaphosa has called on South Africans to join hands with the government in exposing corruption. He was addressing a commemoration of Human Rights Day at Costa in Northwest, and the president said corruption and state capture had eroded human rights and weakened state institutions. He said the country would remain stagnant should corruption continue. He also added, and I quote, "Because of corruption, our people are forced to pay more for services. We cannot reduce poverty and inequality as long as public money is being stolen." Then looking to news further abroad, Sudan's Central Reserve Police has been sanctioned by the United States for using excessive force against anti-military demonstrators. The US Treasury said the force was at the forefront of the crackdown against the protest movement that has swept the country since the October coup last year. Now, more than 80 people were killed in protests in the capital Khartoum alone, and some 3,000 were injured in 5 months of protests. The US Treasury statement said it condemned Sudan's security services for killing, harassing and intimidating Sudanese citizens. Then Ukrainian resilience is causing Russia to more adequately assess the situation of the war, a Ukrainian negotiator says. Mikhailo Podolyak, an aide to President Zelensky, says this has encouraged dialogue between the two sides. But any decision on a peace agreement will be made between the Ukrainian and Russian leaders, he said. In Kyiv, 8 people have died due to shelling of a residential area and shopping center. And Ukraine has ignored Russia's demand that it gives up the city of Mariupol, saying there is no question of any surrender. Then Burkina Faso-born architect Dibedo Francis Kere, 56 years old, has become the first African to win the prestigious Pritzker Prize, often referred to as the Nobel Prize of Architecture. His highly esteemed work has been erected in his country of birth and across Africa, Europe and the United States. However, Kere's decades-long journey to the top of his field was no cakewalk. At the age of 7, he found himself crammed into a classroom with about 100 other kids. This experience of poor building facilities was his earliest inspiration to improve the educational lives of Burkina Faso's children using architecture. After studies in Germany, Kere designed a primary school in his home village of Gando in 2001. Now, this earned Kere the Aga Khan Award, which is awarded every 3 years to identify building projects that address the needs of societies with a large Muslim population. Beyond his designs in Burkina Faso, the award-winning architect has also designed permanent and temporary structures across Europe and the United Nations, such as London's 2017 Serpentine Pavilion. We love to see all the work that he's doing, but that is where I leave your news headlines on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Right now, it's time to have a final look at the weather front. Here is Ralda Morning.
Thank you so much, Jamie. And now for us to take one last look at the weather this morning before you go on and do the things that you do under the sun. But for now, the Ketling River Taxpayers Association in the small town of Costa in Northwest says the failure to provide clean drinking water to communities in the worst possible violation of human rights. Now, President Cyril Ramaphosa was in the town yesterday for the government's official Human Rights Day celebrations, and the area has, of late, not had water for nearly 40 days. Now, the chairperson of the Ketling River Ratepayers Association, Carol van Heerden, says they are concerned about the management of the water and sewage plants. Now, he says they wish to run the services privately themselves, and fed up with the unreliable supply, the Ratepayers Association took the municipality to court in 2020. Now, the Costa community successfully took over the services for a few months after the court found the local municipality was unable to provide these services. However, the municipality has since taken back the responsibility with the Ratepayers Association, which is now challenging this decision. Well, from our weather news to sunrise views, and our morning would never be complete without these incredible pictures that are shared by you with us. Now, we can't thank you enough for coming through, and Charlene Malan from the West Coast shared this picture-perfect, peaceful view overlooking the ocean in her area. Honestly, what a beautiful glow cast over the area. It looks like a painting. Next up, our family, Gary Orkamp from East London shared yet another fantastic shot from his part of the country this morning, showing off a luminous pink glow over the area, looking like something from a movie. At 7 a.m., Marnitz and Dominique Smith from Montessil in KZN shared this stunning photo overlooking the area from a great vantage point, showing an absolutely gorgeous glow, and with that, so much inspiration for the rest of the day. Last but not least, friend of the show, Nancy Govender from Penguin, wishing us a happy Human Rights Day when she shared yet an absolutely beautiful photo taken of the sun rising over the ocean yesterday. And look at all those colors of pinks, reds, yellows. Oh, the hues are enough to never ever give you the blues today. Well, from those incredible pictures, I want to say thank you, Mzansi, because you're definitely lightening up our day. And for now, it's time to take one last glance at the temperatures across the country. Starting off in Polokwane, the day starting at 12, moving up to 25. Umbumbela sees the day starting at 15, moving up to 26. Pretoria, 16, moving up to 26. And Johannesburg, the rain starts in your side of town, 15, moving up to 24 degrees. Over in Mahikeng, the rain continues, 15, moving up to 27. Klerksdorp, thunder showers at your side of town, 14, up to 27. Kimberley, the thunder showers continue. 16 is your minimum, moving up to 27 degrees. And Bloemfontein, very similar conditions with the thunder showers coming in from 12 degrees all the way up to a max of 24 degrees Celsius. Over in Richards Bay, the sunny skies carry on in your side of town, 19 moving up to 30. Sunny skies and a little bit of rain in Pietermaritzburg, 15 moving up to 27 degrees. Durban sees only sunny skies, no rain, 20 moving up to 28. And Mthatha, the thunder showers do ever continue, 14 moving up to 28 degrees. degrees. Over in East London, your day starts at 19, moving up to 27, sunny skies all the way around. Cradock sees the day starting at 12, moving up to a nice warm 30 degrees. Mbecha sees the day starting at 17, moving up to a warm 26. And George, sunny skies all the way around, 17, moving up to 24 degrees Celsius. And over in the Mother City, 19 is your low, moving up to 24 with sunny skies. Worcester, however, sees an increase in your water supply with thunder showers, 19 moving up to 34. And much the same for Sutherland, 14 moving up to a high of 24 degrees. The rain does continue, however. And then over in Uppington, last but not least, thunder showers in your side of town, 19 moving up to 32. And once again, the rain and the water supply will be increasing with those thunder showers. Of course, Mzansi, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, because we absolutely love how you share all your incredible sunrise pictures. For now, though, it looks like the crew is taking it up a step and dealing with the camera situation. Let's see what's actually happening out here.
It's actually called job shadowing. It's job shadowing. You are just...
Man, we've all got to improve ourselves. Ralph, you look gorgeous, man. You're always that good looking on camera. Absolutely beautiful.
No, you know.
Still lots coming up in the final hour of the show. We're going to squeeze it in. Dr. Emil Reid is here to talk World Tuberculosis Day, which happens in 2 days' time. Can't wait for that.
And then also, how does classic rice pilaf sound? Well, if that is inspiring you, want to go nowhere, because we're making that in the kitchen after this.
Okay, give me the fire in the eyes. Fire in the eyes.
Wake up in luxury with Expresso and your chance to win one of 5 Slumberland Green Wave queen size base and mattress sets, each to the value of 14,000 Rand. To enter, reply to the competition post on Expresso's Facebook, Twitter or Instagram page, answer the question and include hashtag Sleep with Slumberland in your answer. Competition runs from Friday the 18th to Thursday the 24th of March 2022. T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com. Catch you later.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, the doc is in the hot seat. Now, each year we recognize World TB Day on March the 24th. This annual event commemorates the date in 1882, in fact, when Dr. Robert Koch announced his discovery of Mycobacterium tuberculosis, the bacillus that causes tuberculosis, or TB as we know it now. And this morning we are joined by our HIV and infectious diseases expert, Dr. Emil Reid, ahead of World TB Day, to unpack the importance of awareness around tuberculosis. It's crazy to me that when we talk about 1882, that we are still in 2022.
Shocking.
Grappling with something that we should have, surely we should have control of this now. Why is this such an important day?
Well, every year we try and commemorate TB and World TB Day. And the reason for that is to create public awareness, number one, and an understanding around probably the biggest infectious diseases killer in this world. And what is shocking is that we sit with round about 5,000 deaths per day of tuberculosis. We sit with roughly 40,000 new cases per day, and that despite a cure being available, despite prevention strategies being available, we're still struggling 100 years later.
I mean, I immediately start jumping to a socio-economic reason as to why this is panning out in this way and not being a scientific reason. But let's get to the heart of the matter first, because I know this can be a devastating disease to contract, and it's ugly. It really is an ugly disease. So what happens within the body when someone contracts TB?
So Mycobacterium tuberculosis is airborne, it's aerosolized. So we breathe it in. So the port of entry is usually our lungs. And in the lungs we have cells we call the macrophages. They are almost like Pac-Man. That
nom, 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 nom.
Nom, 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 when the bacillus actually goes into the lung. And they also create some sort of inflammation in order to contain this mycobacterium in the lung. So what it does, it actually builds a wall around it so that it cannot spread further. When you have a poor immune system, though, it gets into the bloodstream, it can spread to your brain, causing meningitis, it can spread to your eyes, it can spread to your kidney, it can spread to your back. We call it Pott's disease. So TB can actually affect every part of your body. And I mean, for me, in the last 25 years, I think I've seen TB in every organ of the body.
I mean, I've seen an X-ray of a lung that's been heavily affected by it. The amount of scar tissue, the cysts that form, it's crazy. So what normal course of treatment do we follow? You say there's a cure. What do we do?
That's part of the problem, because our current normal tuberculosis treatment is roughly 6 months. So based on your weight and your age and also your comorbidities, you have to take between 3 and 5 tablets per day for the first 2 months.
Sure.
After the first 2 months and your sputum get tested negative, your X-ray shows improvement, your medication gets swapped to another different type of anti-tuberculous treatment, which will be 3 tablets a day for another 4 months. So treatment of normal tuberculosis, 6 months.
So you've got to be in it for the long haul.
You need to be in it.
And that's when you start looking at people who don't have access to clinics every day, where they've got to travel 50 kilometers to get to their nearest healthcare practitioner. This is where I think it becomes a socio-economic issue. What happens if you don't adhere to that protocol?
The big problem we have with antibiotics, remember we always speak about antibiotic resistance, and that's why we as ID docs normally ask people, please complete your treatment. And the issue is when people default treatment or they're not taking their treatment on a regular basis, that's what will happen. They develop what we call drug-resistant tuberculosis, whether it is multi-drug resistant, extended drug-resistant, so you create a monster if you do not comply with treatment.
And then are there treatment options available once we've progressed to that extent?
Absolutely, there is, and that's one of the difficult things as well, because should you then go on drug-resistant TB treatment, it requires probably more tablets, you know, and in some instances up to 20 tablets a day. And the duration of treatment will then be, on average, the short course of drug-resistant TB is 9 to 11 months.
Wow.
And a normal course of a drug-resistant TB is 18 to 20 months. Hence the reason for people at some stage to stop their medication, not take it.
Well, and you can imagine then the strain, the additional strain that puts on the medical systems, on practitioners, on those communities itself. This all highlights just how important it is to focus on World TB Day. It's happening in 2 days' time, but we're casting a light on it right now. If you've got any comments or questions for the good doctor, let us know on the Expresso Morning Show Facebook page. We are continuing our TB discussion in just a moment.
Such a vital conversation, and there's so much information coming through. Also being World Water Day. Now, I know you might be distracted and not sure what to make for supper, but don't worry, this next recipe might just be the solution for you.
So, we've had classic fashion from Timby, classic cars, thanks Chad, and we've seen classic hairstyles. And you, Michael? Classic!
A classic range from Clover. Timeless taste.
Made with love by Clover.
Yeah, we're talking about a staple. We're talking about rice, which is a staple that often gets treated like a side dish, but no longer. Consider classic rice pilau as an upgrade, and it's like rice with a glow up, and all you got to do is add a simple few ingredients, and the payoff is quite simply amazing. And here to show us how is the beautiful, gorgeous Tando in the building. How you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good. I never get to cook with you that often, so I'm always excited to do something fun. What are we doing? It looks like we've got a beautiful amount of raw, vibrant ingredients. We've got color, we've got some warmth there.
Spices.
What's happening? This is not just rice, yeah?
No. This is rice that went to private school.
Okay. So quick question, because I've never heard this before. I was actually going to pronounce it pilaf at some point, and amongst other words when I was asking you. But is the rice itself actually pilau, or do we turn it into...
You turn it into pilau. So there's different variations.
So it was born in the streets, and we're taking it to private school. And
Listen,
I like that. Hybrid, the best of both.
Yeah.
So you're already on it, though. You already are you getting some onions going there?
Yeah, so there's onions in here.
Yeah.
And then you're going to go in with your spices, fry off the spices. So the spices is what elevates it.
Okay, what are we putting in?
So I've got turmeric.
Yeah.
Paprika.
Nice. Warmth. Okay.
I love paprika.
Yes.
Cumin seeds.
Nice.
Ooh, all of it. Cardamom. And then salt and pepper, of course.
This is like the umami
cinnamon
ingredients.
as well.
This is the feel-good stuff that gives you the nostalgia. Before you even put anything into this, I think this combination of spices alone kind of makes you feel like you're back home, right?
Yeah.
Kind of gives that cultural
It's that warm,
feeling.
like we're preparing for winter now, so all these recipes are also just like, get your food ready.
Bring it on. You can picture this in a nice warm gown, sitting on the couch, maybe even having your leftovers the next morning while you're watching the Expresso show. Come on.
I might just go home. So once that's fried off, you're also going to add your rice. So any long grain rice, jasmine, basmati makes it really nice.
Okay.
Just because it has its own flavor profile already. So
and I would imagine that that's also going to allow to then absorb all of that flavor from that
yeah.
spice creation that you've just put together, which already I'm getting beautiful smelling notes from.
Then you're going to make the dip for me.
All right, we're going to make the dip. I see we got our hero ingredient, classic dairy snack. Now, this is something I absolutely love making and cooking with. It's a classic dairy snack, like I said. It's deliciously smooth, it's creamy, it's dairy, and it's a snack on its own. And it gives you that creamy taste to this pilau. Now, with the pilau rice, it can be enjoyed as a meal on its own, or if you really want to, you can also add some protein of your choice just to level it up that much more. But I need to make the sauce, so I've got my hero ingredient going in here. How many spoons?
I'd say about 4.
4 tablespoons going in, and already, look at that, it just comes out so perfectly. The most essential ingredient to kind of make something special, and that's what we're doing right now. So I've got lemon juice.
Lemon juice.
All right, that goes in there, and then?
Cumin.
Oh, I can see how this is going to work. The whole thing goes in there.
Just spices everywhere.
Yeah, and then I've seen we've got some...
coriander.
Coriander. Myself and she love this.
There we go. Then I'm going to pour in... I'm going to put in our vegetable stock, so you can use any stock you have.
Okay.
Vegetable stock is great if you're vegetarian.
Yes,
kind
all
of,
right.
yeah.
So essentially, this is like a meat-free meal, right? Unless you're wanting to add the meat, which is an option.
Yeah.
But for anybody else that is going for that vegan or vegetarian route, let's say that, this is a great
It's a great meal, yeah.
I like that. Meat-free. Let us say meat-free, because we do still have our classic dairy snack in this one, which I'm using to make this beautiful sauce.
You are doing
and
amazing.
I was just going to say, this is something that you don't necessarily only need with this. I mean, I can picture dipping quite a bit of different foods into this.
pepper.
Oh, yes. Certainly. Look how well we work together in the kitchen, eh?
Love it. Teamwork.
Teamwork. That what makes that dream work. All right, what are you popping in there? Some salt?
Yeah, salt and pepper.
Pepper?
And I'm going to
Okay.
add the rest in here. Then this is going to simmer.
Good, it smells so good. I can just dip almost anything into that and will honestly just elevate it that
It's going
much
to be
more.
beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, how are you looking on your side?
So this is going to simmer until it's nice and cooked
Okay.
and fluffy and
sucked up all that good stuff.
all the good stuff.
Yes.
Guys, then you don't need to do anything. Then once that's done, you'll add the sultanas in or whatever raisins, whatever you have.
Okay.
Just to bring that sweetness of flavor in.
All
Any
right.
dried fruits, chop that up. It's going to be beautiful.
Oh, is that it?
That's it.
What?
We just have this.
We don't waste no time in the
It's
kitchen,
a great
right?
weeknight dish.
I absolutely love it. I'm going to get a taste of that, of course. And Zanzi, you can get the recipe at expressoshow.com. The proof is always in the pudding. Hang on, let me grab my
Yeah.
spoon over here because it's dipped in some good sauce, and I want to get some of that when I chow this. Hey, what is this on top of here? Coconut flakes. What is that?
That's almond flakes.
Almonds. Oh, we went even a little bit more fancy, I see. No, just want an A, you want an A+. plus.
Yeah, no, we did say private school.
Private school, it is private school. Get in my belly. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That warmth we spoke about, those spices, winter, this is like a blanket in my mouth. Yes, Tando.
Now I want a
delivered.
spoon. Hold on. I need a spoon.
All right, Zanzi. While we find some plates and dish ourselves up this incredible meal, you can find the recipe at expressoshow.com. All the inspiration you need. And if you just tuned in now, shame on you. But here's a recipe recap for you to enjoy and replicate for your family. This is good. Nice.
Made with love by Clover. Oh, you can make my day.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for keeping it locked as we continue to discuss World TB Day this morning. Of course, it's happening. The annual commemoration happens on the 24th of March. Now, HIV and infectious diseases expert Dr. Emil Reid is spending a little time with us this morning and sharing his extensive knowledge and experience on this particular topic, because this has been your bread and butter, not to make light of it, for many years, 25 years. You say you've found TB in literally every organ. So let's look at it from an external now. Warning signs, red flags. What are those danger signs that I need to be aware of, and when do I need to act on it?
Absolutely. I think when it comes to looking at symptoms and signs of TB, the most important one is cough. And usually when people present with cough, get to the doctor, they give them antibiotics.
Yeah.
Not looking for what is the cause of the cough. Most of the time it might be a viral infection, but if your cough persists for longer than 2 weeks, you need to get an X-ray, you need to go for sputum analysis to exclude that you have tuberculosis. Also associated with that, usually people develop what we call fever and drenching night sweats. So in the morning when they wake up, the bed is wet.
Sodden, okay. Not just a little, but a lot.
Drenching night sweats. They lose weight, they lose appetite, and some of them might develop glands in their neck, under their arms, etc. So those are the warning signs to get checked out.
Okay. And the body does react quite hectically to it.
Absolutely.
6 months to when you've got, talk about the drug-resistant TB, you know, better part of 2 years.
Yeah.
Why such a long drug process? Why is it so hard to kill these little buggers?
Well, the first problem was we actually allowed these buggers to mutate. So obviously when you have a cure, there's people not adhering to treatment, which one can understand. They get mutations, they get resistance, and then you actually have to offer a different regime of treatment. And also what happens is when you have TB inside your body, they exist as rapid dividers, medium dividers, slow dividers, and the drugs are actually there to address different dividing tuberculosis
drugs, yeah,
in your body. And then you also get what we call latent TB, when you're actually infected with TB, but you don't have any symptoms of tuberculosis. So hence the reason for the treatment regimens to be very, very long.
Yeah, and also adhered to. You've spoken about the multi-drug resistant TB. I think something that's popping up now in my mind fairly often as you're talking is, if we have learned something new over the last process, obviously we've had the collective scientific and intellectual might focused on creating a COVID vaccine. Do you think we've progressed in terms of how we're going to approach TB and how we develop treatments for that? Have things moved forward with this? Because I would imagine TB's been a distant second priority over the last 2 or 3 years. How has COVID affected where we're going? Is there some light at the end of the tunnel that we might be actually seeing the benefit of having this collective push towards better vaccines, better treatment?
Absolutely. And the one thing that you touched on is TB became the neglected child of infectious diseases. Yeah. So money wasn't invested in the same way as it was for COVID, because it's a third world, low-income country problem. It's not an American or first world country problem. So that's the one big thing. The second thing is TB runs parallel to HIV. So it's a co-pandemic of HIV and tuberculosis. So if somebody has TB, we need to exclude that they aren't HIV positive, because then they require treatment with antiretroviral treatment for the HIV as well. And when you are HIV positive, you need to exclude tuberculosis. and the big thing is, if you take somebody who is HIV negative, take somebody who is HIV positive, the person being HIV positive has a 20 times higher chance of developing tuberculosis as opposed to when they are negative. And in South Africa, the last decade, as far as I can remember, in South Africa, tuberculosis have been the #1 cause of death in South Africa.
How do we address this then? You know, I quite flippantly said, oh, it's a socio-economic problem. Is it that? Is it our reach? Is it an understanding? Is it the importance of days like World TB Day where people are talking about it? Are we getting it right, or how far off the mark are we in South Africa?
Well, I think it's most definitely has roots embedded in socioeconomic components and parts of South Africa as well. And I believe if there is a strong will, as there was for antiretroviral treatment for HIV, we can actually overcome tuberculosis as well. But if you think about it, if you have to eat 10 or 12 or 20 tablets a day, but you don't have food,
yeah.
I mean...
You don't have transport, you don't have water, you don't have food.
I mean, how do you take medications which causes severe side effects, and in the meantime, not taking those medications, you actually infect your family and people sharing your environment as well. So it's a horrible,
we start out with a medical discussion and now it's suddenly become a wonderful exercise in privilege. Just think about that for a second and realize just how privileged you are in your own current situation. Such an interesting topic this morning. We are talking World TB Day, commemorated on the 24th of March. We're going to talk bigger picture in just a moment.
Well, we are back on the Expresso stage with Jesse Clegg, who's standing by with his last performance. No, we have to say goodbye, but this one is all about finding strength through loss and taking the journey to gain closure and celebrate life at its fullest. It's called Waiting on the Outcome. Jesse, take it away.
So lost, just waiting on the outcome. So maybe I was arrogant, as if I could choose how the story went. One day you're soaring over all of it, and you're holding on by your fingertips. I'm not ready, I'm not ready, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready, I'm not ready, I'm not ready. Everything I was promised, pillars are falling. Bring it on, waiting on the outcome, outcome. Not his footsteps that I walk with you. Will we make it through? Will we make it through? Do I get to keeping you? Not his smiles, I wanna walk with you. Will we make it through? Do I get to keeping you? I'm so lost, just waiting on the outcome. hours just waiting on the outcome. Waiting on the outcome. Waiting on the outcome.
Jesse Clegg on the Feel Good Breakfast Show. We don't want you to leave. Like, stay with us. I know you have so much things that's going for you. You also have shows coming up. Tell us about that.
Yes, I've got two very special shows coming up at the end of April, 22nd and 23rd, at the Teatro in Monte Cassino. And it's going to be basically taking people on the journey of my music career, where I am now, where I've been, and where I'm going. And we've got a bunch of incredible guest artists from South Africa and international coming to join me on stage. So it's going to be a really special show. It's called Jesse Clegg Here and Now, and the tickets are on sale on CompuTicket.
Hey, get your tickets. Thank you again so much for joining us. Let us know what you thought of that performance. Jesse Clegg on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, but more magic coming your way after this.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us as we wrap up what has been a really interesting and I think a vitally important discussion ahead of World TB Day. That's ahead of the annual commemoration on the 24th of March. Now, HIV and infectious diseases expert and our good friend, Dr. Emil Reid, he has shared his very extensive expertise and knowledge with us in this area. And we're now joined by one of our own, our Expresso family members who has actually gone through having TB himself. Welcome to Sebastian Newman, who is a part of our social media team and a part of our social set. You've been a gateway to the social world in Cape Town for the longest time, but great to have you on the couch as well. Thanks for sticking around, Doc. How did this come about? Walk us through when you were diagnosed and what were you feeling and experiencing at the time?
Cool. So I'm going to give you a short version of a very long story.
Okay.
End of 2014, I just started a new job. Right? So, you know, when you start a new job, you want to do the most, you want to be there, and now you get sick. But now you don't want to miss out days, so now you're like, I'm just going to go to the chemist and get what I need. I know what I need to get. Anyway, eventually, went to the doctor very close to work, and he was like, oh, no, you've got a flu. Here's some medication for the flu. A week later, flu was still not going away. He's like, okay, I think you've got bronchitis. I'm like, okay. Week later, still nothing. He's like, it's a viral infection. So my manager at the time was like, listen, your health comes first. Please take the day off and go to your GP. So I go to my GP, and my GP is like, I'm telling him the whole story. And also at this time, I'm weighing like 40 kgs, firstly, at 19 years old. And I'm like quite tall, so like that's like weird. And then also there was these stairs at work, and I couldn't walk up like 3 steps, and then I needed to like stand still. So now you're like, what is going on? Went for the X-ray. X-ray comes back, and he's like, exactly what I thought. You've got TB.
TB. And that's something that you kind of, I was saying, like, joking with the doc, like, I perceive that to be a miner's disease from the 1960s, you know, not something that's... How did you feel? How did you react to the news?
Exactly what you're saying. There's this, like, stigma around it, like, certain illnesses are
For others.
In others. Like, I can never get that. So I think the biggest thing for me was not me, like this can't be happening for me. And like also trying to not tell my mind what my body is going through. Because again, 19 years old, fresh, you want to do
You're
things.
indestructible at 19.
But you literally I couldn't even like get up. Like there were days where I couldn't get out of bed. Like my body was so weak. And it was like, you want to do things, but you just can't do it. And I think that for me was...
I mean, docs highlighted the fact that the treatment process is quite long and extensive, even more so if you get a drug-resistant TB. What was that treatment process going through? What was that like, and how did your body respond to it?
So also, like, I want to say, like, this illness humbles you because you can have all of the money in the world, right? You can have the best medical aid. You need to go there to your local clinic and you need to go sit every day, at least for that first month. You need to go in every day. So now this is also a thing. But so my mom was there with me through the whole process, so just thanks, Mom.
Props, Mom.
And then a month later, they gave me then a month's supply because they come and do a home visit, and then my mom had to sign the card every day to make sure that I took the treatment, because I think a lot of people also are very much in denial about it. So they don't want to say, oh, I've got TB or I'm going through this. And so now they just go out there and they still have it, and now you're infecting other people when the cure's there.
But now people are going to be looking at you thinking it's actually cool to get TB because...
I don't think it's cool.
and you know,
but
Graham,
you've got to break that stigma,
and the other thing, how does Mom actually know that he's taking his medication? And Mom will tell you because his urine is orange. It's like neon orange. And some people, you know, that wear contact lenses, they struggle because their tears is orange and can actually stain their contact lenses. And that's why when you have TB and taking your anti-tuberculous treatment, don't wear a white shirt because
sweat will actually be orange. Oh, my word.
Stain your shirt as well.
Is like you sweat all the time.
You sleep with like a towel underneath you.
You wake up in like...
I'll put this to both of you from flip sides of the coin here. Some advice for someone that is going through what you went through, Bass. What advice would you have for someone who's having to go through what sounds like a pretty intense treatment process?
So once I was fully recovered, Tamron Green, our previous Miss South Africa, she also came out with her story. And she spoke about the fact that her campaign was Break the Stigma. And in the final words of what she said, it costs you nothing to get your treatment and to go for your test. But if you don't go, it can cost your life. And I mean, that is like...
That is brilliant.
It's brilliant. And I mean, like, it's so simple. Go and do it. You can still have a normal life. I mean, I continued working after getting my treatment. And, like, it's okay. It's not a death sentence. So go there and do what you need to do.
And the sooner you get diagnosed, the sooner you can get access to treatment, the sooner you can get better. The longer you allow this process to continue, the more damage you're actually going to sit with, particularly long-standing problems, cavitatory lung disease, not being able to breathe. And when that happens, I mean, you're going to sit with a lung condition your whole life through.
With successful treatment, should there be long-term effects? Because when you look at what happens to the lungs, surely there is a knock-on effect.
There's almost always residual damage. The extent of the damage depends on when the diagnosis was made. And obviously being young, being healthy, and getting a diagnosis much sooner as opposed to later, that's why he looks this good.
See, even ridiculously good-looking people can get TB. Break that stigma, man. Break that stigma. No, thank you for opening up about this and speaking out. Thank you for some absolute gems today. It's been around for 100 years. I think we know the solutions are there. It's up to us to ensure early detection and that we look after each other. A good starting point, spread the word, break the stigma. It's World Tuberculosis Day in 2 days' time. Do what you can to spread the word and look after yourself.
Now, before you are going to reach for that warm cuppa, why not have something a little more naturally refreshing, like a Clover Manhattan iced tea? Now, this is available in various fruity flavors, low in those kilojoules, and a source of vitamins. This is the perfect refreshment. I'm telling you this, free of charge. Now, we are spilling all of the iced tea on how to make an Instagram-worthy, naturally refreshing Manhattan peach ice tea spritzer. That was a mouthful, so I feel like I need to just quench my thirst after saying all of that stuff. And you are here for all of the tea.
I see what you did there.
I got you, go.
So we're gonna start with some ice. I love a good peach iced tea.
I love this, especially like for those warmer days that we've been having in Cape Town. If you're in the mother city, you know that sometimes you think, oh, it's gonna rain this. No,
and then it's hot.
Then it's hot, and this is just like so perfect as a mocktail. And if you wanted to add a knartjie, you could do that. A knartjie.
What's
for something for the tonton. For the vibes.
The vibes.
For the vibes, okay?
Adult beverages.
Sometimes I look at that and I'm like, this girl probably thinks, what is this girl saying? I'm going to teach you. At the end of this year, you're going to be saying more words.
Well, by the time I go back home, my mom's going to be like, I ukhuluma manje.
Like, tonton, Okay, so we're using our Manhattan iced tea. We are going with a black tea. In this, again, naturally flavored, no artificial colors.
So halfway with that.
Okay, halfway, I can do that. Tell me when to stop.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay, we're good. And pour that in there.
This already looks
yummy.
So refreshing. This already, I'm like, oh.
Look, we're done. We don't have to add anything.
We don't need
to
too much. And then we're gonna chop some ginger up for me.
Ooh.
Girl, some spiciness, just
adding the spice to it. I got you.
Then we're gonna add honey as well to this. It's a proper
spritzer. Here we go. So I got more of that.
Oh, gorge.
And then we're just gonna. How would you like me to cut this? Like,
how would you cut it at your house?
Would I cut it at my house? That is the problem. Someone called me out the other day. They said, Jamie does not look like she can do anything in the kitchen because of my nails. To be very honest, I'm a convenient cook. And by now, everyone knows. I'm about that quick.
Oh, so you buy the stuff that's already mixed and chopped for you and...
no.
Or the stuff that's cooked already?
I live with my mom. So my mom lives with me, and basically when I get home after work, there's always a cooked meal, unless I'm making something.
Living the life.
Girl,
that's a good life.
I would never be able to.
My mom's cooking.
I can imagine, girl. Don't worry. Like Zoe said, Zoe's going to have a girl tonight and cook for you. I will make the knartjies. I'll make the tontons for all of us, okay?
So we're gonna add sparkling water as well.
Okay, some sparkling water.
Just to, this is the spritzer, where it's, you know.
Okay.
Okay, that should be good. Just one piece in each.
One piece in each.
Yeah.
Okay.
And some mint as well.
And ginger just does that. It just opens up the taste buds. Again, this is refreshing with no added colorants, and it's made with purified water with those robust tea extracts. Manhattan is also, again, low in kilojoules and has natural sweeteners. And with the stone fruit season coming to an end, you will still be able to enjoy them all year round thanks to Clover Manhattan. It is a great way to keep yourself naturally refreshed for after a workout or even just that afternoon cuppa with a burst of flavor. Girl, do you want to cheers to this?
We have to.
Cheers to the weekend. Cheers to the tonton. Cheers to the Tuesday. Cheers to everything. I love this for you. Smells so good.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, this is so good. And I mean, we've seen so many iced beverage reels and recipes on the socials, and this inspired us to create our very own naturally refreshing trend. So visit the Expresso Show Facebook page and let us know what your naturally refreshing iced tea recipe is using... Why are you laughing? Are you good? She's good. You see, this is why we don't even give her knartjie, because she's laughing before the time. Now, who knows? We could be making your recipe on the show next week, so get commenting, and who knows? You might be enjoying any with us. Well, we'll see you after this. Cheers.
So, we've had classic fashion from Timby, classic cars, thanks Chad, and we've seen classic hairstyles. And you, Michael? Classic.
A classic range from Clover. Timeless taste.
Made with love by Clover.
Upstyle your home with Expresso, as 3 lucky viewers like you stand a chance to win game vouchers to the value of 25,000 Rand for a room improvement of your very own.
To enter, all you have to do is post a photo of the space you want to revamp on Expresso's Facebook or Twitter competition post, and remember to use the hashtag #GotGame in your entry.
The competition is closing on the 22nd of March 2022, and all the terms and conditions apply. Good luck.
Yes, Mzansi, welcome to it. It's about to become something even more special when you see these mics in our hands. Now, we've got the specialist out here, Tyler Page is with us. Her music, her voice, and everything about it is eclectic, but we're going to see if we can bring it down a little notch and balance things out, right, G?
We are your backup singers today. We want to see what your voice can do. We love you. For me, I love all the little stylings and the cool little, like, idiosyncrasies in your voice, just mind-blowing. But now we want you to go pop, girl. We want you to go full pop. Are you ready? Can you do it?
Yeah.
Okay, we will try not to butcher your voice. No, we will. It's going to happen, but we're going to love it, and we're going to embrace it. And this one is for anyone who has gone through a breakup, I think, and is at that point now that just needs to let go and get a little bit fierce, because we are never, ever, ever, ever getting back together. All right, cool. Let's hit them.
Never, ever, ever getting back together. We are never, ever, ever getting back together. You go talk to your friends, talk to my friends, talk to me. We never, ever, ever
Get back together. Like
ever?
Like ever. Never, ever, ever.
I'm really gonna miss you picking fights and me falling for it, screaming that I'm right.
Yeah.
You hide away and find your peace of mind with some indie record that's much cooler than mine.
Come on.
You call me up again tonight, but ooh, this time I'm telling you we are never, ever, ever getting back together. We are never, ever, ever getting back together. You don't talk to your friends, talk to my friends, talk to me. But we are never, ever, ever getting back together.
Okay, all right.
I used to think that we would forever, ever.
Me too, man.
And I used to say, never say never.
For sure. So he calls me.
And he's like, I still love you. And I'm like, I mean, this is exhausting, you know, like we're never getting back together, like ever!
Getting back together, we are never, ever, ever getting back together. Don't talk to your friends, talk to my friends, talk to me. But we are never, ever, ever getting back together.
Beautiful.
Back together, we together. Talk to your friends, talk to my friends, talk to me. We never, ever, ever getting back together.
No, never, ever, ever. Wow.
That was a disaster.
That was a lot harder than I thought.
No, you were great. You were great.
But it's always like that, don't you find? Like, I know the song, I know the chorus, and then it's like, wait, I don't remember this part.
All this does is give me maximum respect for anyone who sings.
Yeah,
to do what you do every day, to step out there, to perform, to create the kind of music that you create is amazing. Thank you for playing along, having a little bit of fun. What you've done now your friends won't be intimidated to invite you to karaoke. 'Cause normally when someone can sing as well as you, you're like, oh no, please don't do it. You can let us know what you thought of that performance. It's Tuesday karaoke. We love it. We love you. Thank you so much for joining us on the show again. And we look forward to the next big hits and the next album coming out soon and your next performance on the stage.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, I love it. Absolutely love that performance. We felt it. You can let us know what you felt about that performance. In fact, if you were singing along, I hope you're posting a video on our Expresso Morning Show Facebook page right now.
I can tell you for free, Tyler Page, I am so sorry what the boys had to put you through. Boys?
I've been worried that we destroyed her career. Like this whole.
I'm surprised there's still Ed that actually.
Yeah, man. First of all, Tyler Page, can you believe when she came on to perform on the show? That was the first time she's like performed.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
Like
all
done
of
it
and it was
beyond
incredible,
just being in her own little studio at home. So, first of all, that was amazing for her to be brave enough to do that with us. Even more so.
Yeah.
Don't sit on this girl, man. She is amazing. At Tyler Page, go and check out on her social media platforms. She's got cool, loads of cool little performances performances and things, but just show her some love. After what we put her through, she deserves
She definitely
a bit of TLC.
And while you're on socials as well, check out Jesse Clegg. I mean, he was here today with us, just blessing us with his voice. I mean, we often forget that he's just so raw, still so untouched.
He's an international superstar, and the thing is, he's been able to achieve that, take that step beyond what most South African artists done. And as much as there is that familial connection, and I love the fact that he embraces talking about his dad whenever he can, he's done it off his own steam. It was such a, we've watched his career for the last 15 years, we've seen him kind of own his own space. And now here you have an opportunity to go and see him perform live at Monte Casino. The end of next month, we've got those details up now. He said a host of South African and international stars joining him at the Teatro at Monte Casino. And $250 is all you need to get you into that room. But I really do suggest you go onto CompuTicket right now, because he's one of those performers as well who gives so much more in the live space. So if you love his music on the radio, you're going to love it tenfold more when you see him perform. And then Alan Committie also came and made us laugh this morning. Why you laughing?
Because that game was so much fun. He nailed it. Wow.
He's just a ridiculously funny person, but he is one of those that is just, he's made such a success of himself in an industry that is very difficult. And I'd love to say it's because he's got this brilliant business mind. It's not. It's because he's just so funny. Yeah. And you can catch him. He's got his latest show running. In fact, it's his 25th show, also running at Monte Casino, and that's the 25th of March to the 17th of April. And then he does promise that he's going to bring it down to the Theatre on the Bay in Cape Town at the end of the year. But he is one of those that you've got to see. Every year, you've got to see him at least once because he is that good. But thank you so much to all of our amazing guests, to you beautiful souls, and you as well. We'll see you tomorrow.
Beautiful one.
Love you.
It is a weekend. It's a weekend today.
This month, say it with flavor, taste, and aroma, so they'll know it was made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.